We talked about Tyson Williams and Rico Dowdle. It's going to have to be a collective effort because they are missing a couple of key components in the O-line. So for them to move the ball, these guys on the perimeter that we just mentioned, plus the running game, they got to find a way to get it going.
Bentley sacked 15 times already this season, second most in the SEC. Who needs this game more? Does South Carolina need it more or Arkansas? Because these are both teams that are very hungry to get a W, Coach.
I think they both need it equally bad. I mean, let me tell you, South Carolina came off a very tough loss where I thought they went into College Station last week and really played hard. I thought that game was definitely a winnable game. It came down to the end. It was a very tough loss. 2 weeks earlier, a very tough loss at home against Kentucky. He needs this win.
I love what Arkansas has done in the last couple games. They've recommitted to running the football. 45 carries for their running backs, and 2 weeks ago, last week, 51 runs. So they're doing a good job of finding who they are and getting back to that identity that they had when Bielema was there in his first couple years.
And it's paying off, right? 40-plus in the last two. Of course, that game against A&M went into overtime. But and why the change from Dan Enos? Because it felt like over the last year and a half, we almost saw this team become more pass-happy. Frankly, it didn't look like Arkansas football.
It's easy to fall in love with the pass, but I think what made their passing game so effective in previous years was the ability to run the football. Where they had opportunities down the field came off of their play-action pass. And if you're not running the football well, then there's really no threat of you handing the football off.
Well, when Austin Allen is accurate and effective, it's because they're not giving up sacks, which last week against New Mexico State, they did not give up any sacks. Well, why is that? It's because what we just talked about. They were able to run for over 200 yards. Actually, the last 2 weeks they were able to do that. That is the recipe for success, to be able to protect the quarterback. You know, you can't tee off on this offensive line and expect your quarterback to have clean pockets. He's got to be able to do that with a run game.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you real quick, but the thing I liked about their offense last week, Coach, was they came out focused. They started fast. They went right down the field on that first drive and setting the tone for an offense that you could go both ways. You know, maybe having some confidence issues. That's a big way to get things going.
9 straight games with a touchdown pass, longest active streak in the conference for Austin Allen. I believe his brother Brandon had 17 at one point, so he's trying to knock off the brother in the record books here. If you had to take a quarterback in this game, I gave you Austin Allen or Jake Bentley. Doran, you go first. Which one are you taking?
I selected Arkansas to win this game, so I've already kind of put my my money behind the Arkansas folks. I'll go with Austin Allen here just because I don't have faith in South Carolina's offensive line's ability to protect Bentley.
Yeah, that's the answer. I'm going to take whatever quarterback's getting protected the best, because honestly,
that might be neither, though, because I mean, listen, Allen and if you're talking about Bentley, they both struggled, right?
Yeah, they do. But again, if the game plan unfolds the way Arkansas's did last week and they're able to run the ball, I think he will get better protection without question. But both of these quarterbacks are good and they're accurate if they have time.
Right.
And that's the key.
In South Carolina's defense, you look at the stat sheet, they're only giving up 154 yards per game on the ground, but that number balloons when you get into SEC play, over 200 yards rushing in those games against SEC opponents. So I would think that Arkansas will have some success trying to run today.
We see that Arkansas, their first true road game of the season. Of course, they did travel up to Jerry World up in Arlington and play A&M at that neutral site field. Pretty deep into the season to have your first road game. What is the difference for those guys going down to Columbia now?
Well, you know, I don't think there's a lot of difference. Obviously, they had one that was kind of a road game, obviously going to Jerry's.
And they were in Little Rock, too, so it's not like they've been in their home bed the whole time.
And look, let me tell you something. In that locker room and all week long, they're talking about let's not let an away game be a distraction. We do everything the same. If we're focused on our jobs, where we play and who we play faceless and nameless opponents, and it doesn't matter what field we play on. We got to play one way. But I will say this, going back to something you pointed out, South Carolina defense, what I do like about them in this game at home, where you can get the crowd into it and get them jacked up on a home game, is that they're very opportunistic. Don't look at a lot of their stats, because if you look at their stats, you're not going to be impressed. But when you have to have a play, they make a play. Go back to Louisiana Tech a couple of weeks ago. Game wasn't looking good. They get a pick going into the red zone, go around and score. It's a 14-point swing. They go on to win the game. They've been very opportunistic. Go back to the first game, red zone stop against
Very stingy in the red zone, for sure.
And they win games, so they're going to have to step up to the plate.
They always win the kickoff. I will tell you, just simply for the pregame, it's as good as anybody in any college football.
And the end of the third quarter, right? That's when Sandstorm gets rolled out.
They all, listen, it is something, the traditions here in the SEC, that's what makes it truly does just mean more. Sorry, I had to do it. It was just too easy.
You paid for that?
What kind of game are we going to hear? Is this high scoring, low scoring? What do you see?
I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I think, you look at Bielema's history in the past of being a run-oriented coach, and then defensively, Will Muschamp never wants to play a high-scoring game. So I would probably look to see scores somewhere in the 20s and a lot of running, or a lot of attempting to run from Arkansas, and South Carolina trying to find an ability to run.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially when you're looking at two teams that really arguably are still trying to figure out who they are. Some weeks they look really good, and it looks like, wow, what a great plan. Then other weeks you're like, wow, they're really struggling offensively. But I think it's going to be 20-ish. I don't think you're going to get into the 30s on either side of the ball.
You and I went opposite sides. That was the one pick last night that we were on opposing teams.
That's right. And I think when they're that close right now, I'm going to go with the home team. And I really believe that the opportunistic defense of South Carolina, because at the right times, they've been able to make plays. They're fourth in the league in turnovers gained. So I think they're going to do that again.
Doesn't that scare you, though? You're living on the edge because you're able to create turnovers and you're able to get red zone stops. At some point in time, you're worried that that's going to break, and all of a sudden they're going to find a way.
One of the things that's not really we haven't talked about it a whole lot, especially in this game, is the lack of production from Arkansas as far as special teams. I mean, they are the only team in FBS right now that have 0 field goals. I mean, in a game that we think that may be pretty close. That's something that Brett's got to be worried about when it comes down to it, especially on the road.
There's no doubt it's huge, because nobody cares about your field goal team and your punt team until you don't have one. And that's how it goes. But look, I'm going to go back conversely. South Carolina struggled in some games because they've missed field goals. So I think on both sides you're looking at special teams issues that could creep up in a game like this and cause issues.
All right, Football Power Index, the FBI, everybody knows it's the Bible when it comes to who's going to win these games, right? We'll take a look at it. Take it, South Carolina.
There you go, CD. And I didn't even know this.
Hey,
I just want to let you know.
What does this mean? This is just some
It means that you can bank
full-screen graphic, right? I mean, we're about to kick off.
There is a Wizard of Odds that goes in there.
behind the curtain, dude.
They go behind the curtain. It may be.
You know what's funny about this? He's sitting here going along with it, but as a coach, you're pointing out, that means nothing.
Hey, well,
games are played.
In this particular case, it means a lot.
I think it's interesting, too, because Arkansas is a team, they had 0 50-plus plays. There's not a whole lot of game breakers. And I felt like we had one in Deebo Samuel. Of course, he's out for the year for South Carolina. But who is that guy? Is it Jonathan Nance? Or I'm just trying to figure out who is the guy for Arkansas today that you got to circle and just go, this is the guy that could make the difference in the game.
I like Nance, and the story behind him coming to Arkansas is even more interesting. He was almost a package deal with another receiver there coming out of JUCO, and Nance was really impressive the entire camp and has kind of become a guy that's got a good chemistry with Allen.
I think if you're looking at running the football, which we've talked about ad nauseum in terms of what we think Arkansas needs to do, a guy like Devwall Whaley, somebody like that who's going to get his carries, Williams, they're going to get their carries. One of these running backs has to be an explosive play guy today. And so whether it's in the pass game or the run game, they're going to have to find somebody who can be an explosive play guy.
It is an odyssey when you're looking for South Carolina getting ready to come out. And it is. Do you miss it, Chris? I mean, what are the feelings like right now? Hockey about to come out, get the crowd rolling.
This is the best. And I love running out of the tunnel at the Swamp more than anything, but it is also pretty cool to go on the road and see the traditions and have to face a crowd that really doesn't like you very much. Those are the things that we really enjoyed back.
There's certain guys that like playing road games more than home games, right?
I think players love playing away games, especially in these venues, Pete, because when you run out before opening kickoff, you're jacked.
Right.
Oh, you're jacked.
I've also heard some things I've never heard before.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm expanding my vocab.
Not in the SEC, guys.
Oh, yeah,
we're very calm and polite. Come on. There he is. I wonder if mascots ever go back after the game and be like, you know what, I just didn't bring it today.
That is it.
Like, do they go back and do mascots ever look at film and just go, you know what, I could have been better at this?
You can bring it because you're faceless, right? I mean, it gies you an ananimity that you can act a fool.
It's like wearing sunglasses inside at the
club. Like 5 guys in the stadium.
You never did
really know who he is.
3-2, South Carolina taking on Arkansas. I do. I love it. There you go. Pyro in the house. That's pretty awesome.
Hey, and look at the standard. Hey, people showed up for the game. They're 3-2. A couple of disappointing losses. Hey, the stadium's packed. You got to love it.
I think the expectations for South Carolina are different at a place than Arkansas football right now.
Well, I think part of the problem is that South Carolina may have set that bar a little high with the way they finished last year and the way they started this year. I don't think they're as good or as deep, and certainly with all the injuries, they're not that same team, but a lot of expectations have been set because of their recent success.
And let's be mindful, their losses against Kentucky, close loss against A&M, close loss.
Yeah.
They could be 5-0 right now, and without their best player.
You know, it's nice, just SEC on SEC football.
It
It's
is a gift.
fantastic. Two of the best in the biz on the call. Dave Neal, Matt Stinchcomb from Columbia. Enjoy.
All right, thank you very much, Peter. And it is a warm, muggy afternoon here in Columbia, South Carolina. Two teams that entered the league at the same time back in 1992, getting back after it for the first time since 2013. Arkansas 2-2, South Carolina at 3-2. It's all coming your way in a matter of moments. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dave Neal. You might recognize this guy, Matt Stinchcomb, former All-American at the University of Georgia. Let's face it, I know we're only in week 6 of the season, but I think this is a true crossroads game for both of these clubs. Winners can obviously feel better when they leave here. Loser, though, boy, they have dug themselves a big hole.
Both of these teams have kind of faced similar challenges. You lose a key component of their offense. Jared Cornelius no longer available at the receiver position for Arkansas. They were able to get well a little bit last week versus New Mexico State. South Carolina suffering a very difficult loss, ceding a margin there in the second half versus Texas A&M. Both of these programs seeking to get back on the winning side of the ledger in conference play. This is a launching pad game for both of these teams for the balance of their schedule.
Limpert will kick it away. And he will send it through the end zone, but it went out of bounds before that. So good starting field position now for South Carolina if they elect to take the ball at the 35-yard line.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Well, Jake Bentley, he had a rough day. Physically got beat up last weekend.
7 times where he ended up on the ground with the ball in his hand. Sacked versus Texas A&M. They were able to get after what has been a retooled offensive front, the right side of the Gamecock offensive line. A couple of new faces over there due to injuries up front. Had been difficult to keep Jake Bentley clean in the pocket.
They'll come near side. A.J. Turner, first play of the game, out to the 40-yard line. We'll take a look at our Jimmy John starting lineups, and let's start with the offense for South Carolina. And obviously no Deebo Samuel in this group, so they're going to have to look to Hayden Hurst to do a lot for them today in the offensive game.
One of the most talented tight ends you'll see in all of the country. Hayden Hurst, not only a primary target, they'll split him out sometimes. He'll be attached to the end of the line of scrimmage. He'll also get some touches in the ground game.
Rico Dowdle, who's finally getting healthy in a tailback, but there's that little streak to Hayden Hurst, and right on cue, the big fella picks up 15. That is just, that's kind of nice, huh? When your big guy can do that.
That's a tight end running in the high 4.5s. We confirmed that with him in our meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator Kurt Roper said, look, we're going to run some speed sweeps. We want to be able to get on the edges a little bit. And Hayden Hurst showing his versatility, very athletic at the tight end spot.
First down and 10 inside Arkansas territory. The play fake. And Bentley throws that one past Brian Edwards. Take a look at this Arkansas defense in the middle. A couple of really good linebackers led by Dre Greenlaw, who is leading the team with 34 tackles. He has been a little bit banged up since last year, finally healthy, but he is a playmaker.
Injured his foot a year ago, healthy for this season so far, still kind of learning that linebacker position. Paul Rhodes, the defensive coordinator for Arkansas, making the transition to the 3-4. They need those linebackers to track down the football quickly.
Four-man rush, another throw to the outside. This one is caught by the freshman Shi Smith. He'll have it right around the 40-yard line, give him 7. Santos Ramirez pushes him out of bounds for the Hogs.
Shi Smith is a guy that's had to step up for South Carolina. In Deebo Samuel's absence, he's a guy in the slot receiver position oftentimes. Obviously a new face to this offense as a true freshman, but a guy who's gaining more and more trust in that passing game with his quarterback.
So third down and a long 3 coming up for South Carolina. Bringing some pressure are the Hogs. Bentley stands in the pocket and a little too high, looking for Hurst. Now you're looking at fourth down. Let's see if they decide. They're kind of in that no man's land.
Oh, and especially given the kicking situation, obviously you're not in field goal range, even with one that you trust. you punt the football away and play field position, or do you trust your defense? And right now, it would appear they substitute. They get another tight end there in Casey Crosby. And South Carolina is going to take a chance in converting this third down. See Hayden Hurst and Crosby right here. Crosby's another tight end, but they love his route running ability.
Well, they will spread 5 out. Quick hitter, and Crosby has the catch. And they will spot it near the 35, and that'll be good enough to move the chains. But how about the effort they got from K.C. Crosby?
Another high ball from Jake Bentley. It comes out of his hands quickly, and Crosby does a great job of making his quarterback look good on a 4th down conversion. Substituted in there late. He's a guy that we'll see a lot of today, it would seem. Given the way Arkansas lines up, that 3 down front, it's not easy to get movement. That time big in the pass game.
There goes Rico Dowdle. He'll have it near the 30. Pick up a 5.
Rico Dowdle's a guy that they've been waiting to get back healthy. You know, he's gotten some touches in games. Only 2 carries last week versus Texas A&M. He's the biggest back that South Carolina has in their backfield, but he's been hampered a little bit by injury. A big, powerful run there that time between the tackles.
Bentley steps up, hit as he throws, batted in the air, and almost picked off. Well, once again with us down on the sidelines is Dawn Davenport. Let's check in with her for the first time today. Hey, Dawn.
Yeah, Dave, you guys talking about Rico Dowdle. He's been dealing with a thigh bruise since week 2. Coach Will Muschamp told us this week in practice, watching him was the first time that he felt he was able to see. Good to see Rico back. Watched him in warm-ups. He moved well. They really think that Dowdle can help to spark their rush offense that's ranked 122nd in the country.
And they also think he's pretty good in pass protection as well, which is something they lacked a little bit in the backfield against A&M. Bentley going up top, coming near side. Pass is batted around in the air, and it's incomplete. Looking for Chad Terrell. Coverage by Cameron Curl.
And Chad Terrell's a guy, they like his size. Another true freshman in the receiving corps. Well defended, though. Right underneath this. You play through the ball, and Cameron Curl, that's true freshman on true freshman. They like his physical nature, 6'2". And that time you could see they match size for size on a jump ball.
Well, here's an issue. Both teams really kicking issues. This one from 49 yards out. Parker White hit a game winner against Louisiana Tech. But otherwise, South Carolina has missed 7 field goals this year. And you can make it 8. That looked kind of sloppy from the get-go. And the finish wasn't much better.
You can see Arkansas defensively. They were set up. They were looking for a fake even at this part of the field. You know, they weren't looking to rush this kick. Parker White's a guy that, as you mentioned, it's been an adventure in the place kicking duties for South Carolina. A guy that they had obviously come onto this football team. You see strength and conditioning coach Jeff Dillman there. Just got to make sure that his kicker keeps his head in the game. He was clutch and key in that victory over Louisiana Tech. They can't afford to have their kicker go in the tank.
2 of 8 now on the year for White. Now Arkansas with it. They'll go under center. We'll see a lot of that today. First play, handoff. Not surprisingly to Whaley, and he'll pick up 3. Austin Allen got it back on track last week. 256 yards, couple of touchdowns overall this year. 62% completion rates. What do you make of Austin?
He's one of the best passers, I think, in this conference. But it's more than that. It's the other elements of the game. He's smart pre-snap. And as long as he stays true to who he is, from a skill set standpoint, from a demeanor standpoint, he's one of the most dangerous weapons offensively if Arkansas can keep him clean and let him operate.
Correct myself. 58% on the year for Austin Allen with 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and gets that one out to the near side. That one's caught by C.J. O'Grady. Loose football. No whistle. South Carolina thinks they'll have it around the 15-yard line, and they do.
Trying to hit C.J. O'Grady, and Chris Lamons comes up And as he's making that tackle, rakes the football out. We talked with Travaris Robinson yesterday, the defensive coordinator for South Carolina. He said, we need to get more takeaways. We started the season off fast, and we've tapered off. Only one in the last 2 ball games. Already now, early, the Carolina defense taking the ball away and giving their offense a short football field. Jamias Williams, the true freshman in that Carolina secondary, once again coming up with another big play off of the forced fumble.
So from the 15-yard line, Bentley and the offense back on the field. That's Hurst in motion. Handed off, Rico Dowdle. Not a whole lot of room, maybe a yard for Rico. Boy, both these offensive lines, not exactly what you would expect. South Carolina had some big expectations, but injuries have cost them.
You've seen so far in this game, where's South Carolina running the football? Behind the left side. And it's not as if those guys have that much more experience, but it's not nearly as rebuilt as the right-hand side. Every run where they've had success, it's been to the left-hand side of their offensive front.
There's Hayden Hurst, little stutter step, nowhere to run. He is swarmed by 3 white jerseys, led by T.J. Smith. That'll be a loss of a yard. Tell you what, this is yet another lineup change for this South Carolina offensive line. Already used 4 different. You can make it 5 today through 6 games. That's what they look like in week 1. And today, without Malik Young, Corey Helms, or Zach Bailey, none of which dressed out, this is what you go with.
The only guy that's been consistent is center Alan Knott. Otherwise, you have reshuffled the deck entirely along the offensive line.
3rd down, Bentley coming to the wide side of the field, and Shi Smith mistimed his jump. No flags. Good defense from Arkansas. Santos Ramirez on the coverage again. And the Gamecocks will once again call out the field goal unit. Parker White jogging out.
Great protection. They brought 5. Did Arkansas defensively. They don't pressure much. And Shi Smith, you mentioned it, Dave. I think that's exactly what happened. He just didn't time his jump. That ball, there was plenty of room left towards the boundary. Smith just got turned around too early.
Tell you what, if Parker White misses this field goal from 33, South Carolina may not kick it again the rest of the year. From the far hash, out of the hold of Danny Gordon. It is on the way. And I'll let the crowd tell you. So, Parker White is now 3 out of 9 on the year. South Carolina gifted a 3 because of the fumble by Arkansas. Sets him up with a short field, and the Gamecocks will take the 3. We're back to Columbia. First quarter football right after this. Road to the championship, presented by Dr. Pepper. We continue on the SEC Network. Dave Neal, Matt Stinchcomb, Dawn Davenport down on the field. Sky Moore, he has been a bell cow for South Carolina defensively, but this is a real big game for him. We'll have more on that after this kick. We'll get it to the studio. Get our first update of the afternoon. Dari. Little miscommunication. Dave Neal, Matt Stinchcomb. Stinch, we're just talking about Sky Moore and how important this game is for him. Explain why that is.
Well, you know, a lot of people want to know, is Sky Moore just one of these space players, or can he play hard-nosed football versus a 2-back offense just like this formation? This is the kind of offenses you see on Sundays. This is a job interview for him at linebacker.
Working left side, David Williams coming back home, has his undergraduate degree from South Carolina. Found a home at Arkansas in 2017. His first carry, and you know it was a big one for Mr. Williams, goes 23 yards.
Well, 33 versus 10. Sky Moore has seen David Williams a couple of different times. And that time, they were able to crease the Carolina run defense and get upfield quickly.
Out to the tight end. Austin Cantrell picks up 5. This Arkansas offense, when they're clicking, what works?
Well, they're so balanced. Coming into this game, in fact, by far the most balanced offense production-wise in the entire conference. But because they're under center and they're not one of these RPO-type offenses, the play action has to mean something. And when they're able to run the football, it opens up the passing game and protects this offensive front.
Deion Stewart makes the catch. He'll be at the 44-yard line. Take a look at Arkansas starters offensively, and certainly when you look at the Razorbacks and how they have to play, Frank Ragnow's a guy that certainly leads them up front, but they've got to get some production out on the outside without Jared Cornelius around.
And Jonathan Nance has been the guy that has really emerged. A big play receiver, JUCO transfer into Arkansas. They lost their top targets, knowing Jared Cornelius would be the guy to go to. And Nance is one of the top targets on third down attempts as well.
In motion, Jordan Jones, but they'll come the other way with a handoff. No gain on the play. Williams is tripped up. DJ Wanham, the sophomore out of Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Great job by DJ Wanham on the right side of your screen. Fights across the down block and is able to get upfield just enough to trip up Williams before he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And Arkansas is going to go for it on 4th.
They're having their kicking woes, but this is more of a distance issue from the 45.
Interesting, they come out in 4 wides here.
And a whistle will stop the play. Timeout by South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Arkansas, this is a team that'll put 3 tight ends in the game. They come out in 4 wide receivers on a 4th down to convert.
All right, we'll step aside as well. 7:28 to go, opening quarter.
Anyone can get you ready. Holiday Inn Express gets you the readiest, because ready gives a pep talk. Showtime. But the readiest gives a pep rally.
I cleared my inbox!
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest. Allergies can hold you back. Break through with Allegra 5-in-1 Relief. It starts working in 1 hour. Relief lasts 24 hours, and it's non-drowsy. Break through allergies with Allegra 5-in-1 Relief.
I'm Jimmy. This is my definition of fresh since 1983.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. We've got 25 employees who depended on it, and that's all that mattered to me. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. Incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
Dory Nuka in studio. LSU strikes first on the road at Florida. How about putting a cap on an 11-play, 86-yard drive with Russell Gage's first career rushing touchdown? 7-zip Tigers late first.
Thank you, Dari. On the Swamp, the Williams-Brice Stadium. And let's go back to that play right before the timeout. Explain what was going on.
Yeah, they had some bigs in here. These are tight ends right here. They're split out wide, but basically you've got a 4 wide receiver look on a 4th down play. South Carolina says, wait a second. what's about to happen here? This is not Arkansas's MO. They took their big personnel and they blew out the formation, and it looked like they were going to run an option look, an entirely different formation this time, 3 wide receiver set.
All right, 4th down and 3. Allen sprints out, throws on the run, lofts it up, too much. Deion Stewart, and a flag is down. Rashad Fenton was the closest Gamecock around number 13.
Pass interference, number 16 defense. 50-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Well, we get another look at it. Stentz, you be the judge and the jury.
Yeah, they grabbed him right there. Number 16 grabbed him a little bit earlier in that route, and Deion Stewart wasn't able to get as far downfield.
So now Arkansas will set it up at the 30-yard line. Will Muschamp is furious. He thought the ball was uncatchable.
Well, part of the reason it was uncatchable is because he held him in the right.
Right. Out of that I formation, they'll hand it off to Chase Hayden, a true freshman out of Memphis, Tennessee. No gain on the play. Well, here's a young man, Hayden, that you certainly got to like early in the season, early in his career, what you see from this man out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Well, Chase Hayden's a guy that gets a lot of touches, but watch Wanham. He's going to come underneath. This is something that the offensive front for Arkansas doesn't handle very well. Comes right underneath what was going to be an outside reach block by Colton Jackson, and he's taking on the lead blocker in the offensive backfield.
That one's batted out of the air.
DJ Wanham's having him a game. We've called his name 3 times now. Now he gets a pass breakup from his defensive end position. When you run a screen pass, offensive linemen, they're looking to release, but you can't just turn guys loose right away. Austin Allen's got hands in his face. DJ Wanham able to bat that ball down. The screen never had a chance.
Coach is telling us Wanham has been a very consistent performer all year, and he has shown it today. Just a sophomore, off the edge, out of the shotgun. North Carolina bringing an extra rusher. Allen can't convert. And now you're looking at 4th down and 10, and Coach Bielema looks like he's going to try a field goal.
You see South Carolina early on, they try a field goal that was outside of their comfort zone. Missed it, and the defense got them the ball back. Coach Bielema saying, look, we've already tried 1 4th down, had 2 cracks at it. We're incapable of converting it. Why not give another shot at this thing with Connor Limpert?
Limpert has a really strong leg, kicks off, and this one from 48 just does get over the crossbar.
Look at Coach B. He's fired up.
His first career field goal for the sophomore out of Allen, Texas, Connor Limpert, and the first field goal of the year for the Razorbacks.
And a big one at that. You know, the pass interference bails him out on the 4th down call, and Connor Limpert's able to deliver.
Well, he was from 48. This one easily would have made it from 49.
Hello. Let's go for a ride on a Peloton. Let's go grab a couple thousand friends and chase each other up a hill. Let's go make a personal best, then beat it with your personal better than best. Let's go bring the world's best instructors right to you. Better yet, let's go bring the entire New York studio live. Let's go anytime, anywhere, with anyone who's willing. And let's go do it all right here. Ready to go? Peloton.
This is SEC Saturday night. It ought to be a dogfight every time that we step on the field.
Missouri, Kentucky, tonight at 7:30 on the SEC Network. If you're going to be on this team, being ready won't cut it. You've got to be the readiest. Holiday Inn Express, proud sponsor of SEC Saturday Night on the SEC Network.
You're here to buy a used car, truck, SUV. That's smart. TrueCar can help. It's great for finding a new car, but you already knew that. It's also great for finding the perfect used car. You'll see what a fair price is, and you can connect with a TrueCar certified dealer. So no matter what you're looking for, there it is. This is how buying a used car should be. This is TrueCar.
Save on pet food and supplies at Chewy.com.
I love shopping for my pets at Chewy because the prices are amazing. I have a big family, so saving money is important. At Chewy, we save on the dog's food, the cat's litter, and all of their toys and treats. Plus, it's delivered right to our door, and the shipping is free. The pets love the box, and we love the savings.
Save 20% on your favorite brands and get fast free shipping today. Shop online now at Chewy.com.
Well, it took a while, but Connor Limpert, his first career field goal, the first one of the year for Arkansas. They had attempted 2 against TCU. Cole Hedlund missed those. And first attempt for Limpert was a success from 48. A short kick inside the 20. A.J. Turner has some room to the 40 and out to the 44-yard line. Don't forget, coming up tonight at 7:30 Eastern, it's our SEC Saturday night game. Missouri heading to Lexington to take on the Cats right here on the SEC Network and also streaming live on the ESPN app. But tell you what, one thing that Mark Stoops has done since they gave, was it New Mexico last year? They gave up just a gazillion yards. And he kind of took over that defense, and they have buckled it up a little bit.
They've definitely improved on that side of the football. Missouri, obviously hyper-active on their offensive side. They're going to run a ton of plays, challenge defenses to get lined up properly.
First down and 10. South Carolina, little slip screen. Back over the middle. That one goes to Shi Smith, who is tripped up at the 46-yard line, about a yard shy of the first down. Take a look at our LendingTree keys to the game, Stinch.
Well, perfect timing for this. We've seen South Carolina try to get the ball on the perimeter, speed sweep to a tight end. For Arkansas, it's tackling in space right there. Grant Morgan, number 31, Drew Morgan's brother at linebacker, missed the tackle in space on that screen pass, able to pick up extra yardage after the contact.
Rico Dowdle hits the hole hard, has the first down, still driving to the 40-yard line. Give him 6. Santos Ramirez, the first one there.
That time South Carolina ends up bending that ball back, runs behind the right side of the line. Nice block by Hayden Hurst. You want to have that running game to have some level of complement to what South Carolina has been offensively, because it's been very, very pass reliant so far this season.
Hurst in motion. They'll fake it to him. Benton, plenty of time to throw. Going to the far side, out of bounds. Incomplete. Looking for K.C. Crosby over there. You know, talking to defensive coordinator for Arkansas, Paul Rhodes, this week, one of the issues that he said he was going to face is that he's never seen Coach Roper. He's never faced Kurt Roper, the offensive coordinator for South Carolina, so didn't have a real feel for how he'd like to call a game.
It's always interesting to talk to these coaches because they have some level of familiarity with other guys, based on previous stops. You could tell that Coach Rhodes felt like, the first couple of rounds of this fight, I'm going to have to feel him out to see what he's going to try to do to us.
Second down and 10. It's Crosby in motion. He'll settle in over left guard. They'll go inside handoff. A.J. Turner will pick up 4. This South Carolina offense really struggles running the football. 84 yards a game. That's 122nd in the FBS. And they rank 129.
What they're doing, though, in this game is they're getting extra blockers in there. So that time, you've got your 5 offensive linemen. Then you pick up a couple extras and tight ends. That time, K.C. Crosby and Hayden Hurst. And this is what Paul Rhodes was concerned about, was the downhill heavy formations running between the tackles versus his defense.
On third down, pressure from the outside. They get man-to-man coverage on the wide side. That one is incomplete. No flags. Looking for Andricus Davis, covered by Henri Toliver.
Of course, the crowd In here politicking for a PI to see if the flag comes out. Singled up. You see contact all the way down the field, but they're just hand fighting. It's different from what we saw in the previous pass interference. The South Carolina sideline felt like it was an uncatchable ball. That was because Deion Stewart was impeded that time. Andricus Davis, he was able to get upfield. That ball just had a little too much on it.
Teams have thrown against Tolliver 13 times this year. They've only completed 7 passes against the senior from Marrero, Louisiana. Bringing the house on 4th down, and it's incomplete. So Will Muschamp not afraid to keep his offense on the field on 4th down. Brian Edwards covered by Cameron Curl, and Arkansas comes up with a defensive stop, and they'll have the football when we come back.
When aviation is in your blood, you learn how to fly. When your family serves, you learn the meaning of hard work. And when you're born with a name that stands for power, performance, and precision engineering, you better make the family proud. Welcome to Textron Off-Road. Side-by-sides and ATVs built with a work ethic, a wild streak, and a relentless pursuit of adventure.
With new styles and great fits, Wrangler jeans are ready for anything. The only question is, are you? Wrangler, new styles, great fits.
If you battle chronic back pain or joint pain, turn it off with Icy Hot Smart Relief. Among leading brands, only Smart Relief is indicated to relieve chronic pain. Imagine the difference it'll make in your life. Turn off chronic pain with Icy Hot Smart Relief.
Austin Allen, the senior out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. He is a young man that certainly has taken a few shots as he has been in drop-back situations, but boy, he's got great hands with the football.
Yeah, he does a lot in the ball handling area, and so this is just going to be a quick slant. The effect that this fake has on the 3-second level defenders. He's going to fake downhill on a dive. His back's completely to the defense, but watch the defense bite up, and they're able to come back out of it and stab a slant in there quickly. He's able to influence the run game as well with some of his ball handling.
Coming left side, and gain of about a yard on the play from Devois Whaley. T.J. Brunson bringing him down.
Devois Whaley's, according to Coach Bielema, the most complete back he's ever coached. That's saying a lot, considering some of the guys that have come through his programs, both at Arkansas and even more notably at Wisconsin. And a guy who's just starting to get going a little bit this year. Last week, 19 rushes for 119 on the ground.
Yeah, Coach Bielema said he had his best prep week mentally and physically this week. See how that translates. Allen on the run will complete the pass at the 45-yard line, but about a yard shy. That's Jonathan Nance making the catch, his 16th grab of the year. He has 4 touchdowns, time for first in the conference.
It's interesting. We were talking with defensive coordinator Travaris Robinson, mentioned Jonathan Nance and how he's a guy that can slip behind your secondary and get loose, but also defending boots and nakeds, something that we've seen a couple times already in this game.
3rd down and short. Nance goes in motion. Boy, the line just collapsed against the pressure of South Carolina. A loss of 2 on the play.
You know, South Carolina does so many different things defensively. They got into an odd front, and Dante Sawyer gets so much penetration early underneath the block of Colton Jackson that he disrupts the pulling guard. They're trying to pull and get an extra blocker at the point of attack, and Sawyer blew the whole play up with his penetration.
Well, a 3rd down stop, something Travaris Robinson, the defensive coordinator for South Carolina, was talking to us about at length, as they have to get off the field on 3rd downs. Lamons back to return this punt. Calls for a fair catch at the 22-yard line, and that's where South Carolina will have it with 2:31 to go, opening quarter. Hey, Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern, it's the latest Thinking Out Loud with Greg McElroy and Marcus Spears. Catch that also streaming live on the ESPN app. You guys can get involved through social media, live call-ins. We're talking football and pretty much anything else. You just call up, ask me anything. He'll tell you.
We talk about fish, I think.
Yeah.
Clothing choices. They covered all, man. Yep. That's right.
Well, here in Columbia, Gamecocks sitting at 3-2. Boy, how good does that NC State win look in the opener right now?
Well, obviously, they've already been able to sprint out 5 wins for the Wolfpack. Big victory over Louisville on Thursday night. You're right. That was a big game, obviously, for South Carolina to kick off this season.
Mark Curl's our referee. I don't know what the discussion is.
The chains were not set. It's 1st and 10.
I don't know how the chains aren't set. Seems like a fundamental.
They're hitting the Gatorade over there. It's hot out here, man. You can't have those guys cramping up.
So 1st down and 10. You saw the numbers on Bentley a moment ago. He has struggled in the passing game, but gets this one complete, but not for much. Only 2 yards on the play to Edwards. Well played defensively by Dijon Harris, the sophomore linebacker.
Brian Edwards is a guy that they were looking to step up as well. By far the most targeted receiver in this offense. A guy that they rely upon not only to hit some of these deep shots, but also yards after the catch, be able to run through tackles. That time Dijon Harris did a great job on the open field.
So 2nd down. Another high throw. You know, it's a 4-man rush, and Bentley's had time, but he has been, I mean, he's missed 4 or 5 guys with high throws.
You're right. No, that's a great point. Along the boundary as well, where Bentley's sailing these balls. Casey Crosby on the 4th down conversion had to climb the ladder. You see him come off his initial read, comes back to it. He's got bodies falling around his feet. I wonder if he's just having difficulty.
What about last week? Does that have an impact? He got hit a bunch.
And held on to the ball a bunch. There was some difficulty in the decision-making and pulling the trigger.
3-man rush, setting up the screen, batted in the air and almost intercepted. Randy Ramsey, number 10, almost had an interception, but Hakeem was right there to bat it in the air. But this was last week against A&M, and it was a tough night.
7 sacks. Was hit other times as well. And, you know, talking with Kurt Roper, the offensive coordinator here at South Carolina, he mentioned, look, 3 of those sacks is on the quarterback. He's got to get rid of those. And they were probably the last 3 of the game where he just has to unload. 2 of them were on the backs. You know, it's a joint effort when it comes to pass protection. The ball's got to come out on time.
Charlton will punt it away. A flag down at the line of scrimmage, and Tolliver, fair catch called. 55-yard punt.
Illegal formation. 5 in the backfield. Offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 4th down.
So wave off the 55-yard kick by Charlton, who's averaging almost 44 punt, but that's only 6th, good enough for 6th in the Southeastern Conference.
That's because you've got some great punters in this conference, guys that are able to flip the field. That was a good punt from a field position perspective. Good decision by Arkansas. See if they can't get another crack. You capture 5 yards just by the ball placement pre-snap after the illegal formation. You're looking at, if you're a Razorback right now, possibly getting the ball, excellent field position, even if you have to fair catch it, standing on the 30-yard line to receive this punt.
Charlton, a scholarship punter from just down the road at AC Flora High School. Not but 10 minutes from here, if that. High kick, but this will certainly work out in Arkansas's favor. Great decision by Coach Bielema to make him punt it again, a 42-yard kick. Well, for Arkansas, offensively averaging 35 points a game, pretty balanced this year. 205 on the ground, 203 through the air. Where do they need to be better?
Well, protection, I think, is the biggest piece of it, because I think the running game is going to come. They're not going to be what they've typically been offensively, to where they're just going to be able to line up and road grade defenses. It's going to have to be a little bit different. And when you get into those obvious passing downs, you have to do a better job of keeping your quarterback clean. Austin Allen, he got a little outside of himself. You know, versus TCU, He got roughed up a little bit, certainly got roughed up versus A&M. Was a good bit cleaner last week versus New Mexico State and had his best game of the season.
David Williams splits out wide. T.J. Hammonds comes in motion. They'll toss it to him now. He cuts it back. Hammond into South Carolina territory, a gain of 12. Nice play call.
Great job pulling around and getting in front. He gets a convoy. Paul Ramirez, who's a guy that we thought would get some more looks this week. And he's rotating in there as well. It's a backup at his right tackle position. He allows them some flexibility, and T.J. Hammonds, a guy that they'll put him in the backfield from time to time and get him some touches because of his burst.
They'll go with Williams. He'll get maybe a yard. You know, you mentioned Austin Allen in those two games. Their two toughest games, TCU and Texas A&M, really struggled throwing the football. 9 of 23, 138 versus TCU, and against A&M, he was 12 of 25 for 229. And you know, you can point to the fact that, you know, Cornelius was there early against TCU, but then hurt the Achilles against A&M, done for the year. You know, you don't know what kind of impact that has on a quarterback, losing your top guy. The ball got across the line of scrimmage. Was he outside the tackle box? Pressure came from Sky Moore. They're going to drop a flag. Mark Curls with the call.
Intentional grounding, number 8, offense. The quarterback was in the pocket, threw the pass beyond the line. However, there was no eligible receiver. The penalty is loss of down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
We talked about protection. It breaks down late. They were assigned for South Carolina's pressure. Sky Moore's coming right there in the B gap between the guard and the tackle. You get to step up and try to pick it up at the back position, but Sky Moore able to leak out late. The edge pressure gets to Austin Allen, moves him off of his spot. That's as good as a sack by the South Carolina defense. One that brings pressure but doesn't often get home. Only 8 sacks coming into this matchup.
Neither team has completed a 3rd down conversion. It is 3rd and 16 now for the Hawks. Pressure again. Allen backpedals, gets out of trouble for the moment, throws on the run. Caught down at the 28 and then knocked out of there. Jordan Jones made the grab for a brief moment and then got laid out.
What a shot. You mentioned it, Dave, scrambling around in the backfield.
Further review.
Tell you what, they're going to call late hit on quarterback Austin Allen. Montauk back there with the big hit.
The flag's not on that shot. It was a big one to separate the receiver from the ball. Allen was flushed, had to throw on the run. Did a great job of eluding the pressure on back-to-back plays. The pocket collapsing. Austin Allen's not known to be much of a runner or scrambler, but bought just enough time to deliver it downfield.
Crowd booing. They're looking at the replay of the catch, but that's not where the flag. The flag is back with Austin Allen. After he let go of the pass, he got hit, and that's where the flag came in. That is the hit. It's not the hit on the reception.
Right. Yeah, no, it's this shot from Brad Johnson. They're going to say he went high.
And you, listen, but on a quarterback, though, they're trying to get that out.
You got to be smart. This is, and if that's forcible impact, then I'm having a hard time with that one. You don't want to make any contact with him. I get it. Ball's out of his hands. Johnson kind of jumped a little bit. If so, keep an eye on the South Carolina sideline. I bet Will Muschamp comes unglued if that proves to be the case. We've already seen a pass interference call this end of the field. Bails out Arkansas on a 4th down. They felt as if it was uncatchable on the South Carolina sideline, and there's not much forcible contact there.
Okay, you said not much, but you did use the word forcible. So that I guess
how much is forcible? A glancing blow is forcible. Any contact will have some force.
Well, that's You know, I
After
think
further review, there is no foul for targeting. Incomplete pass, fourth down.
Look,
and I think that's the area that's kind of great. What is forcible? What isn't? And that isn't right there, obviously.
We've got some officials in the replay booth. They've been around the game a long time. Yeah. They're not physics professors, but they know forcible from not forcible. That was,
right.
You don't want to hit a quarterback in the head ever. But it wasn't much of a shot. The bigger concern is Austin Allen's shoulder. You see him, he's been working on that right arm ever since. We talk about what's the biggest thing for Arkansas offensively. It was keeping their quarterback clean. He takes shots a lot, and they don't always show up in the sack column.
Boy, over his career, Austin Allen has been hammered by numerous defensive players. The whistle will stop that.
False start, number 82, offense. 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Tell you what, getting ugly on third downs. Arkansas 0 for 4, South Carolina 0 for 5.
It started ugly, right? I mean, at least they didn't tease us with third down efficiency. You come into this game, Arkansas a little bit misleading. One of the top teams in the country in third down conversions. But versus the Power 5 opponents that they faced, it was 33% in conversions. 9 of 27 on those third downs versus TCU and A&M.
Blake Johnson's punt, not very good. Off the side of his foot, out of bounds. Let's see where they end up spotting this. They're at the 35, and we'll stop right there. So just a 24-yard punt. A physical game. These two teams know a lot's at stake. Some big hits. It's also hot down there. Coaches, they know the importance of this one.
What is this?
It's the new iPhone. It's for our anniversary.
Our anniversary?
It's 34 days since we first met.
I didn't get you anything.
Oh, it's fine, because I got myself one, too.
Oh.
From you, for me, happy anniversary. I love it. That is very thoughtful of you. Thank you.
Get the amazing new iPhone 8. And with all AT&T Unlimited plans, get HBO for life. Less than $40 per line for 4 lines. Only from AT&T.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. And I don't share it with Mom, right, Mom? Right.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Getting heartburn doesn't mean I take a break. It means I take Rolaids.
Rolaids goes to work instantly for fast, powerful relief of your worst heartburn. ROLAIDS spells relief. And for fast relief of heartburn and gas, get the multi-symptom relief of Rolaids Advanced.
This season marks nearly 85 years of SEC tradition. At Johnsonville, we respect heritage. We've been making premium sausage since 1945. We're heading back to SEC country to earn our fans. On every campus, at every tailgate, every big game, all the way to the championship. Get fired up for game day, made the Johnsonville way.
Dickies knows work is more than just what you do. It's who you are. It's where performance counts on strength and comfort matters. Dickies Flex is engineered to give you superior mobility, advanced protection, and twice the durability, all backed by Dickies' unconditional satisfaction guarantee. So you know the new Flex series is made to work as hard as you do. Dickies Flex, engineered to move. Learn more at Dickies.com.
They used to laugh at us because the places that we lived were different. How they were built, how they showed up, different. A lot has changed since then. Energy efficiency, open floor plans, cutting-edge design. Suddenly, homes built indoors, they're all the rage. Yeah, they used to laugh at us, questioned everything about us. My question is, who's laughing now?
Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is what we're doing it every day. It's football time.
SEC Inside.
Make it work, make it work. Make sure everybody goes through everybody.
Gets inside the game.
I want to go win a championship. Let's go.
This week, SEC Inside follows Vanderbilt. Wednesday at 7 on the SEC Network.
Never thought that we'd play 15 minutes and this would be a field goal kicking contest between these two teams. That's what we're doing.
Coaches didn't think so either, I promise you that.
Oh, that's where we stand, 3-3. Austin Allen, you don't see that very often, -3 yards passing.
With 4 completions.
So the start of the second quarter will be a handoff to Tyson Williams, North Carolina transfer.
You know, when Rico Dowdle was banged up, Tyson Williams was the guy that kind of had to step up. A.J. Turner, probably the fastest of the backs, but also the most slightly built. Tyson Williams, a guy that they like with the ball in his hands. His difficulties in passing downs, not as complete as Rico Dowdle at his running back spot for South Carolina offensively.
Bentley 5 of 15 for 28 yards. Looking at a 2nd and 7. Go over the middle, and he has his tight end, Hayden Hurst. It's a foot race, and Hurst will win it. 62 yards. Hayden Hurst with a 2nd touchdown grab of the year, wide open in the middle of the field. They give South Carolina the lead. Will it be 6 or 7? Parker White makes it 7.
What a great answer by South Carolina offensively. They weren't able to take care of business on a short field. Why not from midfield? And Hayden Hurst showing up big for the touchdown.
Ended on an incredible play. All right, who's ready for some ice cream? It's our post-game ritual.
Honey, he's had a long day.
Yeah. William got ice cream. Ice cream. Who's ready for the post-game ice cream? Dad?
Honey, he's had a long day.
Getting heartburn doesn't mean I take a break. It means I take Rolaids.
Rolaids goes to work instantly for fast, powerful relief of your worst heartburn. ROLAIDS spells relief. And for fast relief of heartburn and gas, get the multi-symptom relief of Rolaids Advanced.
This is Kroger Field in Lexington, Kentucky. And this is SEC Saturday night.
It ought to be a dogfight every time that we step on the field.
SEC Saturday Night, presented by Holiday Inn Express, Missouri, Kentucky. Tonight at 7:30 on the SEC Network.
I used to have to go in to the auto parts store. Paid too much, never find quite what I'm looking for. Now I just go online, rock auto and see all the parts my car will ever need. Lower prices, more parts, more brands. It's so easy to find the right parts fast. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto. All the parts your car will ever need. RockAuto.com.
Booking a flight at the last minute doesn't have to be expensive. Just go to Priceline. It's the best place to book a flight a few days before my trip and still save up to 40%. Just tap and go. For the best savings on flights, go to Priceline.
Attention! A certain type of hernia mesh has been recalled. If you had hernia surgery and needed revision surgery, you may be entitled to compensation.
Call Sokolov Law, 1-800-230-8128, 1-800-230-8128. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Well, the former 17th round pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates, who played professional baseball for a few years, glad he gave it up after this 62-yard touchdown grab.
Well, here he is right here. Yeah. And what he's going to end up doing is just release and then find a soft spot right in front of these linebackers. They're going to bite up. And Dre Greenlaw almost gets his hand on this pass from Jake Bentley. Hurst clears right behind him towards the middle of the secondary. Greenlaw leaps. There's no safety help in the middle of the field. Bentley hits him in stride, and Hurst finds himself in the end zone.
Had 6 catches last week against Texas A&M. Hey, tonight at 10:30 Eastern. You know, I've been watching the show, by the way. The last couple of nights I get home in time to catch these guys, and they break it down like nobody. Dari, Coach Chiz, Chris Doering, 10:30 tonight, SEC Now. They'll recap all the day's action. You can also see it streaming live on the ESPN app, but they do it as well as anybody on television.
Well, you got an offensive guy in Doering, one of the best receivers in the history of this conference, a guy who caught a lot of balls down there in Florida, and Coach Gene Chizik, excellent defensive mind, national championship winning coach. Who else you want to hear from?
You?
Can't do both, Dave.
First down and 10. Hayden in the game at running back, but Allen will throw. Coming near side, hangs in the air. That one almost picked off. Let's go down to the field, check in with Dawn.
Well, Dave, I was watching Austin Allen throw down here. With every throw, he was grimacing. He was grabbing at his right shoulder. Something to definitely keep an eye on. He was clearly in some pain while he was throwing.
Allen 1 for his last 5, and you see the numbers. Nobody in the country over the last 2 seasons has been hit or sacked more than Austin Allen.
I'll tell you he's not worried about his arm strength is Dan Enos, because he just threw a field out. If his arm's banged up, that's a heck of a way to test it.
Nice little stutter step in the backfield, and there's the freshman Chase Hayden. He'll pick up 8. But, I mean, it is, you watch some of these games back, and the guy might be the toughest quarterback I've seen in a long time.
He takes pride in it because he will stand in there and deliver a football. This is last week versus New Mexico State. A&M was another game where he spent a lot of time running around for his life. There's a cumulative effect that those hits take, and you don't have to have a sack. It's the shots that your quarterback takes. Eventually, it gets in his head.
See what they decide to do here on 3rd down and short. They will throw it over the middle. Pass is caught. Nice grab by Deion Stewart. That's a first down at the 40. It's the first 3rd down conversion for either team this afternoon.
Well, if he's able to set his feet, though, he's one of the more accurate passers in this conference is Austin Allen. And obviously, Stewart, a guy that is kind of emerging as well. We talk about some of the new faces that they've needed. Stewart's one of those guys. He caught a couple of passes a year ago, has had to step up.
I think that was a really big conversion for this Arkansas offense. Crowd was getting into it. There's Jones in motion, and he'll have the football. Spins off, close to midfield, picks up 9. Let's get an update. Let's go to the studio. Dari.
All right, guys. Gene Chizik in here. He's been saying, get Malik Davis the football. The true freshman breaks off a 25-yard run, sets up an Eddie Pinheiro field goal. Florida, 366 straight games with a point, a new FBS record, guys.
You know, I'll be anxious to see how this Florida team plays from behind.
Well, really built for that for sure. It's a defensive team, and right now the best part of their offense is Malik Davis.
Best part of this offense can be this guy, Chase Hayden. Some folks have been throwing around the name a little bit that he reminds them of Darren McFadden. Now that is a huge comparison, but there have been some small samples that give you some indication this guy might have a little bit of that wiggle and speed.
I think Chase Hayden would fit in Darren McFadden's back pocket. I mean, just stature-wise alone, I have a hard time seeing that one. Now, you talked to Bielema, and he said James White, and that one fits a lot better. Size-wise, skill set-wise, James White, one of a 1-2 punch when he was in the backfield in Wisconsin for Brett Bielema.
And they say catch. They will at the 35. It looked like Nance might have bobbled that on the far sideline, but they'll give him the reception. There's a discussion over there as well right now between our officials.
Ooh, that's near simultaneous. It looked to me like that left foot might have tapped right before the right foot did out of bounds. As you can see, booting out Austin Allen yet again, this time against his throwing arm, and they're saying that he was out of bounds. It's something they do a lot of, though. They boot him out, move the pocket, let Austin Allen throw on the move.
Second down and 10 now for Arkansas.
This is where Arkansas needs to be better in this game. They've been one of the most efficient teams on second down and making it third and manageable.
Play clock was running down, so Arkansas will take a timeout. 11:36 to go, second quarter. South Carolina up a touchdown, but Arkansas driving.
You love your game? So does he. You say ain't nobody gonna work harder? He said the same thing. You get an hour of training in before the sun even comes up, plenty of early risers out there. You got the gear, they got the gear. You got a secret weapon, this dude doesn't need one. See, this isn't just a game of inches, this is a game of ounces. And the next ounce you give might just be the one the other guy doesn't. Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
Remember that accident I got in with the pole and I had to make a claim and all that?
Is that whole thing still dragging on?
No, I took some pics with the app and filed a claim. But you know how they send you money to cover repairs and...
It took forever to pay you, right?
No, I got paid right away. But at the very end of it all, my agent wouldn't even call you back, right? No, she called to see if I was happy. But if I wasn't happy with my claim experience, for any reason, they'd give me my money back. No questions asked. Can you believe that?
No.
The claim satisfaction guarantee, only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
You know, having a baby and having a 3-year-old, we're hoping to get a little guidance so we can save for a house. Working with somebody at the bank is going to be different. So Maurice was great with going over our everyday finances. He definitely helped me see how we can save and pay off our debt at the same time and why we would want to do that. I'm so ready to take our next step.
Ready to move your life forward? Visit regions.com/nextstep.
10-3 our score, South Carolina and Arkansas. First meeting since 2013. Now for Arkansas, coming in here, they lost one of their most athletic, gifted players, Jared Cornelius, on this play. I mean, you want to talk about just random.
His Achilles injury, just trying to get off the line, non-contact. We've been fighting injuries as well as back issues as well. And you know, you come into the season if you're Arkansas, and it's just a ton of new faces. You touched on it earlier, Dave, at the quarterback spot. When you're looking to deliver the football, you got to trust what you have at receiver. Well, Jonathan Nance has emerged for Arkansas, a JUCO transfer, though. That's a new face for Austin Allen. That trust has kind of been built in as the season has progressed. But if you're the Razorbacks, you look at that receiving corps, you lose Keon Hatcher, you lose Drew Morgan, who was an excellent receiver, led the Hogs in receiving a year ago, Jeremy Sprinkle at the tight end position. So all of a sudden, you got to have a bunch of guys emerge. And Nance has had to do it because of Jared Cornelius going down on that first play of the second half versus A&M.
Well, Stinch, you mentioned Nance, and he was involved in a play a moment ago where they initially called it a catch, and then the officials got together, waved it off, said he didn't have possession as he went out of bounds. They reviewed it, and they have determined that this was indeed a catch.
Well, and I would agree with the review. It did look like that left foot taps right before his right foot came down. It was bang, bang, almost simultaneous. But on the first pass, it did look like that left toe came down.
Off the ball with the foot inbounds at the 33-yard line. 1 yard short of the line to gain. It'll be second down and 1. This was a booth-initiated review, not a coach's challenge, nor a timeout charge to Arkansas.
So that saves Arkansas a timeout. Play clock was winding down. They were going to burn a timeout, but they got buzzed on the field before the timeout was necessary. So it all worked out great for Arkansas. They get the ball spotted down to the 33-yard line, and they're looking at 2nd and 1.
Chance to get it right. You know, and this is part of the reason why they're so effective on second down is when they're effective and set things up on first down. To be able to convert and avoid third down conversions is when you can get the first on your second crack of the offensive series.
Out of the eye. He'll come near side. TJ Hammonds. He's inside the 25. Down to the 23-yard line. Give him 10 yards. And Arkansas just outside of the red zone.
In that I formation. And defensively, you have to respect that if you're on the other side. It's a chance to get out there quickly. Hammonds versus soft coverage, and that's just an easy entry if you get any blocking at all on the perimeter from your wide receivers.
Hammonds had his foot stepped on at practice this week, a couple of days ago, and as they were kind of waiting to see if he'd be able to go today. They were waiting to see how his warm-ups went. And apparently it looks pretty good. A little delay handoff. That one goes to Chase Hayden, and he runs right into the heart of that South Carolina defense. No gain on the play.
Anytime Keir Thomas, a guy that we've done a couple of games now here at South Carolina, and he's a guy that they're expecting to really kind of come on. When they lost Bryson Allen Williams, a guy who could do a lot for them in the pass rush at his linebacker position. And Keir Thomas already today with 3 stops. And his young defenders that they need to step up.
David Williams in the game at running back. He comes near side. Allen will come that way with it. Nobody over there for South Carolina. Good block down at the 7. Touchdown, Arkansas. Deion Stewart peels back, makes the block, allows Williams to score, where he played so many games for South Carolina the past few years.
And Stewart blasts Jamias Williams. You see swing the ball right out. Nobody accounts for David Williams. South Carolina bringing pressure. Williams is all alone in the flats, and it almost looked like he might have stepped out of bounds as he was tiptoeing down the sidelines here. Right there.
Oh, yeah, back at the 3 it looks like.
I think he's, maybe it's just inside of the 10-yard line with his inside foot. I'll be surprised if they don't take another look at that right there.
Yeah, around the 7-yard line.
Yeah.
I'm looking down, and is that Williams still on the ground for South Carolina?
He got up slow, and it was, I believe it is Williams. Take a look at that shot right there. It does look like his foot catches the sideline. And there's the shot that UC Stewart lays on Jamias Williams.
Yep, I mean, it's...
And there's his foot right there. And here's Jamias Williams, who's airborne.
A lot going on right there. Boy, Jamias Williams, by the way, just 5'9". They list him at 175. And he's probably not even that big, but he's a guy that'll get his nose in there. Coaches say it's just he's got the will, the heart that you love, but he didn't see that one coming. Let's hope he's all right.
Clearly still shaken off. And it's, you watch Williams, it happens at the same time. That shot from Stewart.
Ruling is the runner stepped out of bounds with the ball at the 7-yard line. It'll be first and goal at the 7. Reset the game clock to 10:01. 10:01 on the game clock, and it will start on my signal.
So wave it off on the Williams touchdown.
So South Carolina obviously able to get the points back off the board and a chance to get a defensive stop, but Jamias Williams, he's the next defensive back in. Any kind of nickel looks. He's the guy that they want in there. He's been a playmaker for that defense. Now a chance for one of the best red zone offenses in the country in Arkansas on the 7-yard line with 4 downs to get it in the end zone.
First and goal from the 7, out of the I formation. Nance in motion. They'll hand it to Williams. He's to the 5 and drop there.
Great penetration early. Williams is having to shake tacklers. Keir Thomas again.
I think that's South Carolina defender down on the ground. That's the freshman, Sherrod Green. Boy, he's a guy that they were talking about in our meetings. It is been getting more and more snaps each game. Expected this would be perhaps his most snaps of the season.
And Sherrod Green's a guy that's getting more time. Mentioned Bryson Allen Williams earlier. He's a guy that would have been in that spot because Arkansas runs so many big sets. You have an additional linebacker on the field.
We'll step aside for a moment as Arkansas looking to put one in the end zone.
This season marks nearly 85 years of SEC tradition. At Johnsonville, we respect heritage. We've been making premium sausage since 1945. We're heading back to SEC country to earn our fans. On every campus, at every tailgate, every big game, all the way to the championship. Get fired up for game day, made the Johnsonville way.
DirecTV has been rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable for 17 years running. But some people still like cable, just like some people like banging their head on a low ceiling, drinking spoiled milk, camping in poison ivy, getting a paper cut, and having their arm trapped in a vending machine. But for everyone else, there's DirecTV. For #1 rated customer satisfaction over cable, switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
It's the moments we share that mean so much. It's the little things that add up to something more. It's playing the game without knowing the score. And it's the place in our hearts filled by the ones we love. Franklin American Mortgage. It all begins with home.
You don't think it'll happen to you, and you surely don't think it'll happen twice. I've lost 2 homes in my lifetime. First, it was a fire. My agent was right there and helped me rebuild. Then the tornado hit and destroyed everything again. Both times, my independent agent and auto owners took care of me like someone takes care of family.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Just what we're doing it every day. It's football time.
SEC Inside.
Make it work, make it work. Make sure everybody goes through everybody.
Gets inside the game.
I want to go win a championship. Let's go.
This week, SEC Inside follows Vanderbilt. Wednesday at 7 on the SEC Network.
Dory Noka in studio, guys. LSU up 7-3, near the red zone and near disaster. Danny Etling hits Florida's Duke Dawson in the chest. Dawson dropped what could have been 2 picks on the drive. It resulted in an LSU field goal, 10-3 Tigers.
Well, we got a 10-3 game here as well, Dari, and Arkansas trying to even things up. They are looking at 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Allen will keep it himself. No gain. Brought down by DJ Wonnum.
That's not his game. You know, they don't do a ton of this. This is out of the shotgun, and he's just reading the backside defensive end. And DJ Wonnum does a great job of closing square. He'll keep his shoulders square, never turn to close down on the fake, on the dive inside. And DJ Wonnum has shown up big so far for the South Carolina defense from his defensive end spot.
Back over the middle, pass caught, touchdown Arkansas, 5 yards out. Give the reception to Jordan Jones. Jamarcus King in coverage for the Gamecocks.
If you're a wide receiver and Arkansas is knocking on the door, if you get in front of the defender, if you cross his face on a slant, Austin Allen's going to give you a ball you can catch. He's going to stab one in there. They motion the back out of the backfield. One more defender underneath out of there. Gives you that much more throwing room.
Point after. Makes it a 10-10 game with 8:26 to go before halftime.
So you empty the backfield. You end up with 4 receivers right here. And right here is Jones. He's going to get across the face of Jamarcus King. And as soon as he does, it's likely 6. That is almost impossible to defend. Austin Allen's going to put it on the money. And we're all knotted up once again. How big was the Arkansas timeout to determine whether or not Jonathan Nance was in bounds? The pass that was ruled out of bounds.
12 plays, 75 yards, 5:49 off the clock. Arkansas's offense, you see the numbers on Austin Allen, 10 straight games now with a touchdown pass, but their offense before that last drive, 16 plays, 27 yards. They pick up 75 on that drive.
The difference on that reversal of the catch, you're looking at 2nd and 8 or 9 versus 2nd and 1. The way Arkansas struggled on 3rd downs pivoted the entire drive for the Razorbacks.
Connor Limpert will kick it away. And this one will be fielded about 5 yards deep by Fenton. Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern. The SEC Network kickstarts 5 weeks of Kentucky basketball coverage with the UK Men's Pro Day. It's also streaming live on the ESPN app. Again, Kentucky enters the season with ESPN's #2 recruiting class. 5 of their 8 signees are ranked in the top 25 of the 2017 class. I mean, it's amazing. Now, they have been battling a little bit of injury issues. Jared Vanderbilt, the number 19 ranked ESPN 100 player, out with a foot injury. But you know, when it's game time, these guys will be ready. Nice on Williams. Out over the 30 to the 33-yard line, an 8-yard pickup.
A little eye candy in the offensive backfield. You blow shy Smith, fake that fly sweep through the offensive backfield, drag the eyes of the linebackers, freeze them just enough to get downhill quickly.
Stay with the ground game. They'll give it to Tyson Williams again. He'll pick up 3 and should have enough for the first down, and he does. Harris with his 5th tackle from his middle linebacker position.
You can see South Carolina, they continue to enjoy some success. They were able to hit a quick hitter on the right side of the line, but great job so far by Donnell Stanley, who was at left guard before, but we've seen him pull from his right guard position a couple of different times and become that extra blocker at the point of attack.
Rico Dowdle now in the game to the left of Jake Bentley. Bentley 6 of 16, 90 yards. Over the middle. Boy, it could have been a flag, but the catch is made regardless at the 43-yard line. Nice grab by Ortre Smith, another true freshman. Andre Tolliver on coverage.
Arkansas brought pressure this time. Ortre Smith is a huge target, a guy that they like a lot. And this ends up being probably unintentionally a back shoulder throw here. This ball's thrown behind Ortre Smith, and they're late. Randy Ramsey was just about to get home, but Jake Bentley able to deliver the football in time.
Gain of 23. We'll swing it out to the far side. Rico Dowdle. Boy, read well. But Dowdle stays on his feet, got back to the line of scrimmage. That should have been a 2 or 3 yard loss.
Now you could tell, though, this is not a gain. But Rico Dowdle, unless he just got nicked up on that one, that's the best I've seen him with the ball in his hands all season, really. Certainly since the Missouri game. Looks like he might have something going on with his shoulder pads. As long as they're not working on his lower body, that's encouraging if you're a South Carolina fan.
You know, he busted onto the scene after a few games into the 2016 campaign, and we saw him just moving piles, keep his legs moving, doing some stuff you don't see from a freshman. Just fighting the injury bug here in 2017. Williams will pick up 2.
We've seen repeatedly, though, South Carolina testing their ability to get movement versus the Arkansas defensive front. The way they line up with those 3 big defensive linemen, it's not always easy to get movement, because basically Arkansas is just trying to block the South Carolina offensive front. Bijan Johnson, TJ Smith, and others, Sosa Agin, they just want to bench press and occupy space and play both gaps on either side of the lineman that's trying to block them.
South Carolina 0 for 5 on third downs. And the second effort by A.J. Turner is going to give him the first down. Cameron Curl couldn't stop him on the initial hit.
And he took a pretty good shot as that ball arrived. I thought maybe it would bounce out of his hands. Nice protection, plenty of time for Bentley. Hits Turner in the hands, and Cameron Curl arrives as the ball does. Not only does Turner make the reception, but fights his way for first down yardage.
Bentley hit, loose football. They'll throw the beanbag. Who's got it? South Carolina will fall on it. Randy Ramsey put the pressure on Bentley, a loss of 5.
They're cheating Randy Ramsey in off his slot. So he's outside, and he's going to end up coming from off the screen, and they're going to end up dropping Dwayne Eugene. A little zone pressure that they're able to get. You bring one from the edge, drop one behind, and Randy Ramsey able to beat the block of Dennis Daly.
That fell right back into Bentley's lap.
He's got great hands. That almost should count as a reception. Did it hit the ground?
No. 2nd and 15. Ortre Smith makes the grab, but he's hit immediately by Tolliver. Monray Tolliver, the senior. He had an 18-yard scoop and score in the opener from 44 yards out against Florida A&M. He's only allowing 6 yards per reception. Second best number in the conference coming into this game. And you can see why. Great closing speed.
Good job triggering in coverage, getting upfield quickly, and not allowing those yards after the catch versus a big receiver to get on the ground in Ortre Smith.
Here's some pressure. Bentley going wide side of the field. Incomplete. There are no flags. Looking for Brian Edwards. Cameron Curl in coverage for the Hawks.
And Bentley's going back shoulder all the way because Cameron Curl step for step and underneath Brian Edwards. And that's just well defended. That's a great job by the true freshman versus the #1 target of the South Carolina offense, Brian Edwards.
So Parker White on the field for a 49-yarder. He has missed from 49. He has made from 33. This is from the near hash. Danny Gordon will hold. Ben Asbury will snap it. The kick is on the way, and it is no good.
Had the length. His towards was a little bit off, and the goalpost got the better of that one.
South Carolina now 3 out of 10 in the field goal department. Boy, the life of a kicker. Wouldn't want it.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. And I don't share it with Mom, right, Mom? Right.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Getting heartburn doesn't mean I take a break. It means I take Rolaids.
Rolaids goes to work instantly for fast, powerful relief of your worst heartburn. ROLAIDS spells relief. And for fast relief of heartburn and gas, get the multi-symptom relief of Rolaids Advanced.
This is Kroger Field in Lexington, Kentucky. And this is SEC Saturday Night.
It ought to be a dogfight every time that we step on the field.
SEC Saturday Night, presented by Holiday Inn Express, Missouri, Kentucky. Tonight at 7:30 on the SEC Network.
I'm Charlie Day. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you can watch and stream all of your games all season long, and I can throw whatever this thing is like a professional sportsman.
Larry Fitzgerald leads the Cardinals against Carson Wentz and the Eagles. Russell Wilson and the Seahawks face Todd Gurley and the Rams. And Aaron Rodgers and the Packers take on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. You get every game.
Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get NFL Sunday Ticket to watch games anywhere live every Sunday.
I love shopping for my pets at Chewy.com. They have everything I could possibly need for my pets at amazing prices. I love these guys, and I want to feed them the best. When I wanted to change Bailey's diet, I was surprised by the price of his new food. Then I found Chewy.com. With Chewy, I save on food, treats, and litter. Even shipping is free. There's no reason for me to shop anywhere else.
Save 20% on your favorite brands and get fast, free shipping. Shop online at Chewy.com.
Just minutes away from the Auto Owners Insurance halftime report, Dari Doring Chiz will show you how Florida's off to a slow start at home, down 10-3 at the half to LSU. Auburn and Georgia keep rolling. First half here, what do you see?
Solid defense. Your kind of game, Coach. Just what we thought. Low scoring. No surprise.
Either of y'all kick it all?
Better than that.
They need somebody.
That's been the story. Each team has made a field goal today, though.
That's right.
We're making strides in that department. Whaley, nowhere to go. Coach talking about defense. Loss of 2 on the play. There's Sky Moore. We talked about him earlier, how this is one of those games, a guy that weighs about 220. A lot of scouts wondering, how can he play in a run game situation?
Something that I'm sure the South Carolina coaches observed to him this week in preparation. This is a big week for this guy. And he's trying to be the first player to lead the team in tackles 4 straight years. A guy that can get sideline to sideline, and that time was able to get downhill and upfield quickly.
Allen, little pump fake, holds on to it, and boy, threw into traffic. 3 guarded jerseys over there surrounding Jeremy Patton, the tight end. Jamarcus King will get credit for the pass broken up.
Off the cut block of Devwah Whaley, and Dante Sawyer got up and gave a shot to Austin Allen. I checked that. That was Taylor Stallworth. That's 310 pounds coming down on your QB.
Third down and a dozen. Allen throws on the run. Pass is caught. Nance shoulder fakes. Well shy of the first down. He should have stayed with the inside move.
He spun the wrong direction, man. Remember what sideline you're on. Boot out Austin Allen once again, just trying to get him away from the pressure. We've seen on previous possessions, on obvious passing downs, where Allen getting bounced around like the beanbag, and this time Arkansas is going to look to flip the field.
Lamont's back to return the punt. He'll stand around the 25-yard line. Blake Johnson will punt it for Arkansas. Wobbly kick. That will hit it to 35, and we'll be down to around the 31-yard line, a 36-yard kick. Hey, coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the Gamecocks' Mighty Sound of the Southeast on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app. A little private concert on our TV production truck earlier today. Very entertaining. They kind of go around to all the cockabooses behind the end zone, which is such a unique and fantastic way to get ready for a ball game.
What a great way to set those things up, right? I don't want to spend more time on a train than in a cockaboose.
On first down, here's Rico Dowdle. Breaks 1 tackle and will end up picking up 3 yards. Dre Greenlaw with his 4th tackle. You know, Arkansas has been really good at tackling the football, according to their defensive coordinator, Paul Rhodes. They have had less than 5 missed tackles in each game this year, but they have had some missed opportunities this afternoon.
Especially in space. You know, we talked about South Carolina's going to try to get the ball on the perimeter, not only running the football, but passing it as well.
Dowdle cuts it to the outside and dives close to the 40.
Crowd doesn't like it.
Yeah, 113, 112 to go.
Time to play. You got the ball near midfield. There's no sense of urgency, though, that's for sure, when you look at the offense.
They will stay on the ground. Rico Dowdle out to the 45-yard line. Gain of 7 will stop for a moment. You have a couple of timeouts left. Clock's at 51.
You had the ball at midfield. They're letting the clock run.
Yeah, it didn't stop for anything. Three-man rush. That's incomplete, and that will stop it. But, boy, the chains weren't even close to being set.
Chains weren't, and yet the clock started running here at home. And it's leaking down. And, of course, you saw that time Jake Bentley, he's signaling for a motion from Hayden Hurst, then ends up snapping the football. It looks like certainly not on the same page pre-snap, and there's really absolutely no sense of urgency from that offense, certainly after the incomplete.
Pass caught at the 42-yard line. That one goes to Ortre Smith. 12-yard pickup. You have 25 seconds left.
Let's see how long they hold the football. Because we've seen a couple of different times now. You've got Hayden Hurst and Smith down at the bottom of your screen to the short side of the field. If they're going to work the boundary, both big targets with height.
Bentley throws it behind Brian Edwards. Boy, he's having a tough day. They've targeted him now, I believe, 6 times.
He hasn't had all very good balls, though. And we've seen the ball head his way. Most targeted receiver for the offense, no question. But he's had a few, including that one, way too much on it and behind it.
Just one catch for Edwards. Came in with 25 catches on the year, second in the SEC in receptions per game. Play fake. Bentley steps up, hit as he throws, but there is Hurst. Did he dive and make a catch? Yes, he did. Will Muschamp will use one of those timeouts, a 14-yard pickup, and now you can at least start thinking about a field goal.
A lot of time, though, that leaked off of that clock. You started the drive with a couple of runs. You catch the ball inbounds. You know, this ball's underthrown. As you mentioned, Bentley, the pocket was collapsing around him. Didn't get as much as he wanted on this ball. Hurst was all alone.
That's a big play if that ball gets to him.
And if he catches it on his feet, he's able to turn and pick up yards and then get out of bounds. Instead, he catches it in the field of play. You burn a timeout.
See where Hayden Hurst, boy, he has, you know, we're talking to him about giving up baseball. He's bitter on baseball. Did not go well, but he said he's just completely surprised. He knew he'd be able to compete, but he's just, he said he was talking to his dad this week. He can't believe he's considered one of the best tight ends in the country right now.
Well, he is. I mean, he's shown it here today, that's for sure, on the Mackey Award list. And you could see why. He even had a nice carry.
Going 1st and 10. Bentley going to the end zone, has a man. Underthrown, but a flag will come out. Looking for Edwards. If that ball's thrown another yard deeper into the end zone,
Pass
that's
interference.
6.
Number 2, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
That's Cameron Curl, the true freshman.
They challenged him a couple of times here in the first half. He goes up for the ball, and I don't see PI there. He plays it perfectly, in fact. Gets up, gets that left hand up there, and you know, we've seen more contact on previous. There was no call. A big break for South Carolina there with pass interference.
Boy, huge. 10 seconds. Still have a timeout. And Arkansas wants a timeout.
First.
Coach Bielema over there still hot about that last play, the win against his freshman defensive back, Cameron Curl.
You can rewind all the way back to the first quarter, and there was a PI called. Had a similar reaction from Will Muschamp. It was called on his defense, set up a field goal. And Bielema saying, look, I don't know if you can play it any better than that. Cameron Curl, as a true freshman, played right through the receiver's hands. It looked to me like that was a really well-defended ball. Regardless, flag came out. And you're going to give South Carolina an opportunity with 10 seconds to play here to put one in the end zone. See Curl there. I like him a lot. He's a physical presence at corner, 6'2", almost 200 pounds. And he's been matched up a couple of good times against Brian Edwards, who's got an inch and about 10 pounds on him.
Go, game time.
Boy, South Carolina having a heck of a time trying to get players. And they're going to whistle for, is that a legal substitution?
Yeah. Substitution infraction. 12 players in the formation on the offense.
Wow.
5-yard penalty.
Coming out of a timeout.
Out of a timeout. That's hard to imagine. The head coach of South Carolina, Will Muschamp, can't believe it either. Yeah, guys jockeying on and off the field. It backs you up after you get bailed out. The PI there in the end zone. And South Carolina, one of the least penalized teams in the conference.
And just inside the 20. Arkansas bringing 4. Going back to the same route a moment ago. Throws in the air. Caught. Are they going to give him 6? Yes! Brian Edwards.
We're going to be looking at this one for sure very closely to make sure. We've already seen a couple of calls that involve the boundary. This is in the corner of the end zone. Just going right back over this matchup, and who wants it more? Brian Edwards high points it, and that's 6. Looks to me like his left knee comes down right there.
What a catch by Edwards.
Yeah, that left knee just caught the ground before anything else would have established Edwards down. What a sequence here at the end of the half after opening up the possession with a couple of runs to get him past midfield.
Parker White sends it through the uprights, and with 4 seconds to go, South Carolina takes a touchdown lead, and Brian Edwards, the sophomore out of Conway, South Carolina, picks up the touchdown grab, his first of the year.
Well, we say somebody's got to step up. Deebo Samuel's absence. They're just one-on-one out here. It's just a fade route. There's nothing magical about this. Cameron Curl probably knows what's coming too. Get to the corner and see who can elevate. And Jake Bentley's got to be thrilled. Hadn't been on target a lot in the first half. Has missed a couple of throws. He says, I think I'm going to flex on that one a little bit. Going after the true freshman. We mentioned it. You know, Curl got called for a PI that extended that drive, moved them forward. You get an illegal substitution. Wasn't the cleanest sequence there towards the end of that possession. But South Carolina able to come up with points and only leave 4 seconds on the clock.
So Bentley now 13 out of 26, 171, and a couple of touchdown passes. Austin Allen 9 of 14, but just 37 yards. He can't get anything pushed down the field.
Had a hard time shaking loose. You're right, and obviously taking more shots here in the first half. Already being hit 25 times coming into this game.
One hopper. That will end the first half. So South Carolina will head to the half leading by touchdown. And very important game for both of these clubs. 17-10 our halftime score. Time to get it to Dari and the boys for our halftime studio show. Dari?
Guys, thank you much. Welcome into the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report. Dari Nowkhah, Chris Doering, Gene Chizik. They like to wear similar colors on Saturday. It's just something that continues to happen.
It happens because we coordinate, right? You know, text each other.
I wasn't going to tell the peeps that, though. 17-10. In a game like this where it's just difficult to generate any kind of consistent offense, how big was that Bryan Edwards touchdown?
Well, it's huge. Let's talk about the pass interference first. I'm not so sure that was pass interference, but you get a 15-yard penalty.
Got to get your head around, though, right?
I don't know, man.
You're not looking for the ball. They're going to call it 100 out of 100 times.
If you make contact. I didn't think there was contact there, but great catch by Bryan Edwards coming back and getting that knee down somehow.
I'm going to talk about South Carolina's defense. Arkansas has 103 yards of offense going in this game, and what did we say the last 2 weeks? They've scored 40-plus points. South Carolina defense is doing exactly what they do. They're very opportunistic. They get turnovers. They make plays at the right time. But you know what I like? They're very physical. Their run fits are great today. We said for Arkansas to win, they have to come in, pound the football. Right now, they cannot pound the football against this defense. And if they can't win.
66 yards, 17 carries for the Hogs on the ground. Let's go down to Columbia. Don Davenport with South Carolina head coach Will Muschamp.
Well, Coach, you finished that drive with a touchdown. What was the difference in execution from the first quarter to that drive?
A heck of a throw and a heck of a catch. And that's what we've got to be able to make some plays. We made more plays on third down in this game than we have in the last two, so we need to continue to do so.
Speaking of third down, your defense holding Arkansas to 2 of 7. What have you liked from that unit?
Well, we had a deny the ball situation on 3rd and 3. We should have gotten the ball off of them, but that's going to be key. We got to get off the field, get our offense back on the field.
Thank you, Coach.
All right,
You're watching the Dr. Pepper Road to the Championship. Moments away from third quarter football here at Williams-Brice Stadium. 17-10, South Carolina over Arkansas. Dave Neal back alongside Matt Stinchcomb. We'll hear from Don Davenport in just a moment. But Stinch, I mean, not the prettiest of first halves, but if you're South Carolina, you got 17 on the board. You made a field goal. How you feeling?
That's huge, right? Both teams.
Right.
Both teams made a field goal. It's great for both sides. You know, going into halftime, they got to be thrilled with the way it worked out towards that 2-minute drill. You get the ball with a minute and change, and it seemed like they, at one point in time anyway, if they don't get a couple of nice runs, they might have just put that half to bed. But it's Arkansas that has to do better in protecting their quarterback. Have you heard this before, Arkansas fans? The difficulty has been that the play calls have allowed for it. They've left guys in for protection. They've tried to move the pocket. He's only been sacked one time in the first half. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about these shots that he's taking after he gets rid of the football. He's found ways to try to buy time, but there's only so much a quarterback can endure, and I think it's not just mental, but you saw him there working on his shoulder, physically taking a toll on the passer for the Razorbacks.
And once again, coming into this game, he had been hit or sacked 125 times, which is more than any other quarterback in the FBS. As we take a look at our first half stats, and it's kind of shocking to see the pass yards for Arkansas. That includes a 19-yard catch that ended up being a fumble that was negative yardage of 19. But still, even you throw those in there, it kind of is eye-opening.
I mean, the fact that it's been that lack of production and that element of their game, and really the total yardage in general, the rushing yards, nothing to speak of as well. South Carolina's been able to hit a couple of throws downfield. Otherwise, that offense has not necessarily been dominating either.
Arkansas from the 25, first down and 10. They'll run it with Whaley. He gets stuffed after a gain of 2. Let's get an update. Don, what did Coach Bielema have to say?
Pretty passionate, Coach Bielema, Dave. I tell you what, he's a little frustrated with how the officiating is going. He said that is not allowing them to get into a rhythm. Also adamant they have got to run the football. He said they did some good things on the outside early, and they need to go back to that.
We'll see if they can get that accomplished. They'll go single set under center. Boy, it's crazy to see a quarterback under center as much as Arkansas is these times in college football, but well played by the guys in the guarded jerseys. A loss of 5. Javon Kinlaw, the sophomore D tackle out of Charleston, South Carolina.
But disrupted once again by penetration. So they're trying to get the ball outside on a toss. That's the 6th tackle for loss for the South Carolina defense. Not something that they do a ton of, even though they're willing to pressure. It's been the down linemen able to get upfield and underneath some of these down blocks that have disrupted the Arkansas rushing attack.
Chasing the sticks again, 3rd down and 13. has time. Batted in the air, and it's incomplete. Finally had a clean pocket.
Well, South Carolina only brought 4 that time. Had 3 down, brought a linebacker. So Allen was well protected, but great job getting hands up. And once again, DJ Wonnum, who we've mentioned his name over and over again, the second pass breakup that he's gotten.
So a 3 and out. Lamont stands at the 35-yard line, waiting on the Blake Johnson punt. Good high kick. Returnable, though, for Lamont. He is taken down at the 37-yard line, a 45-yard punt.
Josh Liddell on the stop for Arkansas.
Looks like Josh Liddell's down on the field for Arkansas.
While there's an injury, we will step aside. Back in a moment.
Getting heartburn doesn't mean I take a break. It means I take Rolaids.
Rolaids goes to work instantly for fast, powerful relief of your worst heartburn. R-O-L-A-I-D-S spells relief. And for fast relief of heartburn and gas, get the multi-symptom relief of Rolaids Advanced.
Remember that accident I got in with the pole and I had to make a claim and all that? Is that whole thing still dragging on? No, I took some pics with the app and filed a claim. But you know how they send you money to cover repairs and...
It took forever to pay you, right?
No, I got paid right away. But at the very end of it all, my agent wouldn't even call you back, right? No, she called to see if I was happy. But if I wasn't happy with my claim experience, for any reason, they'd give me my money back. No questions asked. Can you believe that? No.
The claim satisfaction guarantee, only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
You give your all here. And here. You're building a foundation that will lead to opportunities, that will open doors. Yet so many smart, talented student athletes leave college prepared to make money, but ill-prepared to manage it. That's why Regions Bank has provided more than 64,000 presentations in communities throughout the SEC to teach individuals good sense money management. Because understanding the value of a dollar is just as important as earning one.
All throughout the Southeastern Conference, college towns can embrace you. Campuses rich with tradition can lead you. Pulitzer and Cy Young winners can inspire you. But it's all of this together at one time in one rare place that can really teach you about you. Here, it just means more.
If you want in the playoff, you got to win the SEC. Whoa! Ooh. So who's in? It's a 15-week fight to the playoff. So who's in to claim bragging rights over the SEC? Whew. It's going to be a crazy season.
The College Football Playoff on ESPN.
So who's in?
Well, Liddell on the sidelines. He's been running a little side to side, trying to shake it off. Looks like he might be able to get back in. We'll keep an eye on him. A guy that really had it was a tale of 2 quarters for Jake Bentley, and it almost looked like he finally settled down. Maybe the A&M game still was in his head a little bit.
He was off target, and he's one of the more accurate passers. Came into the game completing about 62% of his attempts, but was off target on a number of throws there in the first quarter. Hit a nice long one to Hayden Hurst, and then obviously a difference maker. He was able to find Edwards in the corner of the end zone.
Rico Dowdle. Well, this guy just breaks the tackle. The first guy rarely is able to bring him down.
He's different. Like we've mentioned, he's been banged up. We've been wondering what the deal is. Louisiana Tech, we thought Rico Dowdle needs to get going. Tyson Williams started the game. He only got a couple of touches. The guy's had a bad leg. It's hard to run on a bad leg. He seemingly is much, much better in this game. He's got some juice when he touches the ball.
He's been bothered by a deep thigh bruise. Working left side. And again, just it's the extra 2 or 3 yards that you probably don't notice on one particular play, but over the course of a game, it's an extra 30 yards for your offense.
And he's getting downhill quickly. Stick your foot in the ground, get right beneath this block. Hayden Hurst with a nice seal on the edge. Good push at the left side of the offensive front, and Dowdle's got that burst right when he gets to the line of scrimmage. And as you mentioned, he finishes those runs physically.
Saw what he did last year. Over 700 yards on the ground. He got a late start getting him, and there he is again. First guy can't get him down. 9-yard carry, and boy, what a difference he could make if he stays healthy.
Great job by the left side. Another nice pull. Right guard, Donnell Stanley. And this, as we mentioned, a bunch of guys for the Gamecocks up front that are playing in positions where they didn't start the season. Alan Knott is the only guy who hasn't had to move at his center spot. Otherwise, you've got right guard, right tackle, left guard, left tackle with new faces.
This time they'll go with Tyson Williams, who can't escape Cameron Curl.
Great tackle. You know, Paul Rhodes mentioned it. You know, one of the things that he said this defense has done well, because they play a very simple front. They're not going to do a whole lot of things. They're not going to bring pressure. In fact, last in the SEC in blitz percentage on passing downs. They're going to line up. They're going to be simple, but they're going to be safe. They're guys that are not looking to give up the big plays, which one of them obviously hurt in the first half, but they're sure tacklers like that one by Cameron Curl.
They'll fake it. Pass is caught inside the 20, goes the tight end Jacob August. They'll spot it down around the 17-yard line, a 19-yard pickup.
Well, Jacob August doesn't get a ton of targets. He's only got one catch. This time, booting out off of the play fake. He's got two options. Hayden Hurst underneath. August kind of double clutched that catch, but still able to come down after going up top for his quarterback. Nice drive right here by South Carolina, and a good start here in the third quarter.
Fake it again. Boy, Bentley throws it about 5 yards deep.
Yeah, the safeties weren't fooled. You know, we've seen a couple of times on this drive, they fake a power. So it's a heavy play action. And they got a safety over the top. You see right here. That's smart. That's smart to get rid of the football. We never even saw the football. He was making sure nobody had a chance to catch it. We didn't have a chance to film it.
Section 107, row 3 has a souvenir.
You see the red zone numbers, though. This is something that South Carolina has to be better. 67% is not going to cut it.
Second down and 10. Dowdle. He gets it down to the 11. 5-yard pickup. Dre Greenlaw. Now 6 tackles. He leads the team now with 40 stops on the year.
As we mentioned, Greenlaw is a guy that has to be active in this front. The way that they want to play in their front seven, occupy blockers, play 2 gaps, and let the linebackers run. Greenlaw is a guy very active. Excellent athlete at the linebacker spot for Arkansas defense.
Third down and 5. Dowdle in the game, stands to the right of Bentley. Arkansas bringing the house to Hurst, overthrown again. Good throw, that's 6. Decent throw, that's 6. Cameron Curl on the coverage.
We talk about Cameron Curl's got some size, but this is kind of back to the first quarter. This is a bad ball. That's a touchdown, like you mentioned, Dave. You get it close to Hurst, and he'll make a play for it. And you see Bentley just wishing on that throw. Can't adjust on that ball once it leaves your hand. And Cameron Curl, who has been challenged many times, right after that ball hit the ground, he just kind of rolled over. We talk about it being hot and humid. Looks like he's working out a cramp in that right hammy. But he was, you don't want to say beaten, because Hayden Hurst is going to be open with his size and that much room in the end zone. Just too much air into the ball.
Curl getting a workout today.
Boy, is he. He's getting tried many, many times. As we mentioned, had the PI call that was much contested by the Arkansas sideline. And then he was in coverage on Brian Edwards' touchdown pass to end that first half.
All right, here we go. Parker White. 1 out of 3 today. 3 out of 10 this year. This from 29. He has missed 2 from 49. He hit from 33. Far hash mark. Danny Gordon to hold. Snap from Asbury. Kick is on the way. And he's got it. So Parker White, the redshirt freshman out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, stretches the Gamecock lead.
This season marks nearly 85 years of SEC tradition. At Johnsonville, we respect heritage. We've been making premium sausage since 1945. We're heading back to SEC country to earn our fans. On every campus, at every tailgate, every big game, all the way to the championship. Get fired up for game day, made the Johnsonville way.
Hi, so I just got off the phone with our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness. So the incredibly minor accident that I had tonight.
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Getting heartburn doesn't mean I take a break. It means I take Rolaids.
Rolaids goes to work instantly for fast, powerful relief of your worst heartburn. ROLAIDS spells relief. And for fast relief of heartburn and gas, get the multi-symptom relief of Rolaids Advanced.
At Ally, we offer low-cost trades and high-yield savings. But if that's not enough, we offer innovative investing tools to prepare you for the future.
Looks like you hooked it.
And if that's not enough, we'll help your kid prepare for the future.
Don't hook it, kid.
And if that's still not enough, we'll help your kid's kid prepare for the future.
Looks like you hooked it.
We'll do anything.
Takes after his granddad.
Seriously, anything to help you invest for the future. Ally, do it right.
Well, all weekend, we've been able to go behind the scenes with a backstage pass around college football on these campuses. And here at South Carolina, 15 minutes before the game, Cocky exits the field. He enters his Cocky box. The box wheeled onto the field, and then he's revealed during the theme from 2001 Space Odyssey right before the team runs out. Cocky made his debut here at South Carolina back in 1980. He's won several mascot national championships. It's Parents Weekend, so he brought his parents along.
Papa Cocky? Mama Cocky?
They're just having a good time. Proud of it. Hey, proud of their boy.
She's more of a hen, I think. Mama hen.
They're proud of their son.
Why is that the Cocky box? Shouldn't that be the coop or something?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be more accurate?
What a great entrance, though, here at South Carolina. Let's go to our studio, get an update, Dari.
Let's update, guys, shall we? From the swamp, LSU was up 17-3, now 17-10. LaMichael Pirine makes it 17-16. Shouldn't tell you guys, kicking highly questionable in college football. Eddie Pinheiro bricks the extra point, guys. How big will it be? LSU up 17-16, late third.
Wow.
Dari, if you have any eligibility left, there's an opportunity for you somewhere in this league.
Dave, you played soccer
I did.
in college.
I'm not. I don't think I'm physically fit.
Eligibility's out?
I don't think I'm
How
physically
fit do you have to be?
That's right. That's my point. I don't think I'm fit enough.
Wow.
To get.
That's pretty bad off, bro. Why don't you understand that?
First down and 10. Going deep. First time they've gone this far down the field this afternoon, and it's incomplete. Looking for Jordan Jones. Jamarcus King on the coverage.
Jamarcus King all over this one. Here you go, heavy play action on first down and take a shot. Jamarcus King singled up on Jordan Jones. And he gets underneath this pass. Does a great job. Really, Jones does a good job converting to defensive back mode to make sure King doesn't come up with an interception. You know, Dan Enos mentioned that Jamarcus King jumped out to him when he was looking at the film. Pretty good cover man for this South Carolina secondary.
Chase Hayden in at running back for Arkansas. They'll throw it. Quick hitter to the outside. They're asking Jonathan Nance to make a play. Nance run out of bounds by Lamons. Gain of 6.
Nance is that guy we mentioned earlier, was big. ended up getting ruled a completion on what turned out to be a touchdown scoring drive there in the first half for Arkansas. Third downs have been problematic, to say the least, all game long. Part of it is the distance to go. They're right at their season average at about 3rd and 6 to convert here.
Allen runs about 40 yards and then throws it right into the hands of South Carolina. Sky Moore does it again. 33 yards. His 13th career interception.
Ulrich Jones had a heck of a snap. And Dante Sawyer flushes him in 93. He just gets on his horse, and he's asking a lot of that horse with that body of his. Austin Allen makes an ill-advised throw there. You could see his receivers trying to work back to him. At that point, you just eat the football as you're running out of real estate. And Sky Moore, we talk about this being a job interview. They've done a good job of stuffing the run. How about showing your athleticism with the ball in your hands in a pick six?
Sky Moore, I mean, the guy is incredible. Didn't play last year after neck surgery. As the point after is up and good. Flag is down. Coaches didn't even, this staff never even saw Sky Moore in uniform until the first day of fall practice this year.
Yeah, it's funny because
offside, defense, penalties decline, the try is good.
You know, he didn't get to play. There's a new staff coming in, and they said, look, we've been surprised at how physical this guy is, but more than anything, it's his awareness, the football IQ. They ran a play during camp. It was a play-action look. He read it perfectly, ends up intercepting the offense here. It was just his teammates flushing a quarterback into a bad decision. Sky Moore just tracking the QB to the sideline and gets underneath this attempt. I don't know if Austin Allen was just trying to throw it away, but he's had 3 tackles, a tackle for loss, a sack, a pressure, and a pick. That's a heck of a day for Sky Moore. He and Dennis want him if you had to pick an MVP so far for the defense.
You know, Sky Moore actually was recruited when he was in high school as a sophomore and junior by Brett Bielema. Coming out of Cooper City, Florida. He ends up getting the Arkansas job. Thought about trying to bring him there, just things didn't work out. Sky ends up here at South Carolina, but there is a deep connection between those two guys that goes pretty far back. And Sky just broke the coach's heart.
Boy, did he.
Don't forget, coming up tonight at 7:30 Eastern, it's our SEC Saturday night game, Missouri and Kentucky. It's right here on the SEC Network. Catch that also on the ESPN app, streaming live. Kentucky allowing an SEC low 2.6 yards per rush. It's the 5th lowest rate in the FBS. Missouri, a team that really has struggled last 3 games, scoring points, only 30 after scoring 70-some in the first game.
And they're not going to look to run it much. Missouri is not really part of what they do. The Kentucky defense, they're not going to be sweating that. They'll be challenged in the passing game, but a much improved side of the football for the Wildcats.
They'll run out of the eye, and you're asking Hayden to make a cutback, and he cuts it right back into the teeth of that defense, only a yard. Tell you what, this front of South Carolina today has been very impressive.
They've been active, you know, and they're not just going to line up and let you run off the football on them. You know, Arkansas's offensive front's not what they've wanted it to be, but South Carolina's done a great job movement-wise along their front. It's something that Arkansas has struggled with this year, and they've been very active with their down linemen, and they've gotten penetration regularly. It's been very difficult for Arkansas to get that ground game going the way Brett Bielema said he wanted to here in the second half.
On second down, Allen tucks it. And DJ Wanham forces the errant throw out of bounds. And boy, DJ Wanham is one of those guys you talked about. Seems to be in every play.
You know, we've seen him a couple times today, not only getting upfield, defeating blocks at the point of attack, but coming underneath blocks as well. That's the active element that we're talking about. He's got 2 pass breakups. If you can't get to the passer, it's just as good to knock the ball down in pursuit. He's done a great job flushing the quarterback on numerous occasions. A guy that they've looked to step up, and he has answered the bell here today so far versus Arkansas.
Williams in at running back on a 3rd down and long. Bringing some heat from the outside. Allen steps up in the pocket, throws a strike across the middle of the field. It's complete for a 1st down at the 42-yard line. A 16-yard pickup as Jordan Jones makes a nice catch.
And fits it into a really tight window. You know, Austin Allen's got time this time to bring edge pressure. Jamias Williams takes another shot, does Austin Allen. But look at this ball placement. And great job by Jordan Jones. I mean, that is putting it in the, that's basically the location was the size of a football.
That was his best throw of the day. Arkansas going in the Wildcat, Wild Hog, I should say, with Chase Hayden. Loose football. Picked up by South Carolina. Steven Montag. Touchdown, Gamecocks. Boy, was his knee down. Let's take another look. That was close. I mean, just from up here, it looked like he might have been stopped.
Dante Sawyer does a good job. I wonder if his right knee was down when they spun him around.
He was on top of a South Carolina defender, so maybe he didn't hit the ground.
There's T.J. Brunson coming in from the weak side. I don't know that he sure isn't running as if he thought he was down. And it looked like DJ Smith got in there and raked this football out. It's hard to tell. I mean, it's, you know, his shin is on the ground. You see it right there. I don't know that if his knee ever touched the ground there. You see him spinning. He's on T.J. Brunson right here. He's not on the ground.
Now watch the left knee.
Ball's out before it would have touched that second time. The real question, though, is before. Well, before, as he was going down, is it touch?
Ooh, if you look through a couple of those. You know, basically, other than your hand or your foot, any other part of that body that.
Yeah, it does look like his shin made contact. It's weird to say that. How does your shin touch and not your knee?
Flexible.
That's right. Maybe he's bow-legged. Either way, this first, as he's spinning down, right leg, I think, may establish him as down before this ball comes out. See Smith just poking the ball right out of there.
Well, regardless, I mean, it just looks like the South Carolina defense is just teeing off now.
There's nowhere to run. I mean, they've done a great job. You know, we talked about at that time, Arkansas is trying to run to the right side of their front. One where, depending on the lineup, you know, you've got a true freshman in there, a former walk-on.
Well, Gerald Hodges, our replay official. This is what they are seeing out of their DV Sport monitors. They're shuttling back and forth. This is their feed from their booth. So you get an idea of what they're trying to look at. And of course, there is the Video Command Center back in Birmingham, where there are multiple eyes taking a look at the play as well, assisting. I mean, obviously, I mean, it's don't want to sell this. I mean, this is a huge play. I mean, this could be the difference in the game right here, because I just don't know that Arkansas has the kind of firepower on the field to rally from a 24-point deficit.
Well, we've talked about it all game long, where you get behind on the scoreboard, But you know, if his shin was touching the ground, it looked like it was, that'll establish him as down, and they're going to take the points off the board, give the ball back to Arkansas.
And now they're going to try to reset. I got to reset everything if that's the case.
And that's probably the discussion that's going on right now.
You got to put time back. Well,
you got South Carolina's, they're point after teams on the field right now. I mean, we got to take points off the board, reset, spot the football, and reset the clock.
Well, this has been a rather lengthy delay. Crowd getting a little antsy.
Boost getting a little antsy.
These are the things right here about replay that, you know, I love replay because I'm a let's get it right guy, but we gotta. I mean,
and that's the point, I suppose. Let's get it right.
After further
Here he is.
review, the ruling is the runner's right leg was down before he rolled over the player and the ball knocked loose. It'll be 2nd down and 9 at the 43-yard line.
2nd and 9. And it's this first down inefficiencies that have hurt Arkansas. And we talked about how good they've been on 3rd downs, converting 2nd downs. 2nd and 9, not advantageous to say the least. The big part, though, is that you maintain possession. You just gave a pick 6 to your opponent. You can't afford to have a scoop and score on the heels of that. And ball security is huge. A true freshman carrying the football out of the Wild Hog. It was more than well defended. But this defense of South Carolina has started hot here in the 3rd quarter, and the crowd's back into it.
Second down, and let's call it 9. Allen steps up in the pocket over the middle. This one's incomplete, trying to hit Jordan Jones. Seems like Arkansas has found a little soft spot they're trying to attack right now.
Work in the middle that time, soft spot in the zone. Too much on that one out in front of Jordan Jones. And yet another 3rd and long. You know, the fumble, it goes back, reverse, so the runner's down, but you only picked up 1 yard. Then an incomplete pass on 2nd down. It's been tough sledding and long yardage situations on 3rd down most of this football game.
Boy, all day for Allen to throw. There it is, over the middle again. Jones this time holds on to the football. 1st down, pickup of 15.
That time protection able to hold up long enough, because we've seen on a couple of times here in the 2nd half, nowhere to go with the ball. And so it took Jones breaking open late over the middle, almost hits the umpire. Working against Jamarcus King, and he just settles in. Soft spot of this zone. Safeties are already retreating. Jones does a nice job securing the catch and picking up the 1st down.
Little pump fake, and then down the field goes Allen. Pickup of 15 yards. Amon's in there to make the play.
Yeah, it's off a pump fake. When we talk about the ball handling, just a quick pump fake on a wide receiver bubble, and you hit a double move. So see if you can't have a defender biting up hard on that pump fake, was able to open up the space to fit that ball downfield.
Brandon Martin with his first catch. Former #1 ranked junior college receiver. Been hurt. Now they'll go with Williams. Little toss to the left side, and he'll get inside the 25. Give him a couple of yards, maybe 3.
It's just been so hard for Arkansas to get anything going on the ground game, and they're testing the edges of the South Carolina front. David Williams had a couple nice runs early in this game, but so far here in the 2nd half, South Carolina's done an excellent job in their run defense. It's been a couple of deep completions in the passing game that has allowed Arkansas to move the football down the field.
Allen hit as he throws. They're going to say, play on. Scooped up by South Carolina. Jake Brunson. Touchdown, Gamecocks.
I like what they're doing here in that let him play it out just in case his arm isn't going forward. I think that's smart. Let review or replay, take a look at this thing and make sure that you got it right as opposed to hoping that you are and the play's dead. Dante Sawyer again getting upfield, and to me it looks like that ball's coming forward before it pops out. Watch 95. I don't know.
Oof.
I don't know.
I tell you what, it's like he got hit and jarred, and the contact initiated the movement.
Yeah, those last two looks to me, I think you're right, Dave. I think when Sawyer kind of hatcheted that ball, that might have forced his arm forward.
Well, here we go.
It's out. You know, is that ball going forward? And is that enough to overturn? You know, they said continuing action, recover it, and you can run it back. I think that ball's out. I think you're right. I think Sawyer's hand is what propels his hand forward. Austin Allen's hand forward, that is. I would be really surprised if that would be enough to say that this was an incomplete pass. You know, Arkansas got down the field because Allen was afforded enough time, just enough time to deliver the ball. You know, it would be good coverage, but a receiver would break open. Jordan Jones, rather, over the middle. Keep in mind, at the beginning of this possession, there was a fumble and a return for a touchdown that was ruled that Chase Hayden was down. This would be the second turnover.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Dante Sawyer forces the fumble. Brunson scoops it up and rambles 73 yards.
This South Carolina defense, they came out, they got a quick 3 and out, set their offense up. And now they've gotten 2 scores here in the second half.
"24 unanswered points by South Carolina. 17 points off of turnovers for the Gamecocks. Arkansas on their last 4 drives, 17 plays, just 54 yards. South Carolina defense has come to play.
That's the secret phone. The what? Remember? I told you my dad's a shelter agent. When that phone rings, he rushes out to save the day. Whether someone's home or car gets damaged, my dad is always there to help. He has the coolest job ever.
Well, my dad's an astronaut.
That's cool too, I guess.
Find your insurance superhero at shelterinsurance.com.
If you want in the playoff, you got to win the SEC. Whoa! Ooh. So who's in? It's a 15-week fight to the playoff. So who's in to claim bragging rights over the SEC? Ooh. It's going to be a crazy season.
The college football playoff on ESPN.
So who's in?
Okay, I picked out my dream car. Now's the really fun part. Choosing the color, the wheels, the interior, everything exactly how I want it. Here's the thing, just because I configured this car online doesn't mean it really exists at a dealership. But with TrueCar, I get real pricing on actual cars in my area. I see what others paid for them, and they show me the ones that match the car I want. So I know I can go to a TrueCar certified dealer, and it'll be right there waiting for me. Today, right now. This is TrueCar.
Hello. Let's go for a ride on a Peloton. Let's go grab a couple thousand friends and chase each other up a hill. Let's go make a personal best, then beat it with your personal better than best. Let's go bring the world's best instructors right to you. Better yet, let's go bring the entire New York studio live. Let's go anytime, anywhere, with anyone who's willing. And let's go do it all right here. Ready to go? Peloton.
Dory Noka in studio. Don't forget our finale tonight takes place in Lexington as Mark Stoops in Kentucky 4-1 for the third time the last 4 seasons. They host a Missouri team looking for its first road win under Barry Odom. Guys, LSU still up 1, under 10 to go.
Thanks, Dory. Boy, this has gotten away from Arkansas in a hurry here in the third quarter. Trailed by 24. Well, TJ Brunson gets credit for the scoop and score, but it starts back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the right side of the line. We got Johnny Gibson in here at guard, and they're just going to run a stunt. Here's Dante Sawyer. He's going to loop inside on a little TE stunt. And he gets clean into the backfield. David Williams whiffs, doesn't get anything on him. You end up hitting your quarterback. The ball comes squirting out, and TJ Brunson, you mentioned these South Carolina linebackers at the top of this game, Dave, being among the best in the conference. How about a Sky Moore pick 6 and a TJ Brunson scoop and score here in the second half?
Those two guys knew this would be a tough game for them, and they have lived up to the challenge. Deion Stewart is picked up and tossed to the turf. Boy, there is just some mojo in garnet jerseys right now.
They're feeling it now. I mean, you get in the end zone a couple of times. Rashad Fenton able to come up from his corner spot, blow up Deion Stewart on the fly sweep. And there's just been nothing doing for Arkansas on the ground in this game. They're trying their darndest to get to the edges, and there just hasn't been anything there.
So second down. Some play action. Man runs free. They're trying to set up the screen, but they couldn't get it out to Whaley. Ulrich Jones got in there, I think, a little bit quicker than Austin Allen wanted it to.
That's what, yeah, you know, you talk about screen passes, and you got to get a little bit more. You got to have enough to set it up. And it might have been there. You're setting up a slow screen. You're trying to get it to Debois Whaley, and you just can't do it because you got a 6'5" defensive tackle in your lap. And another 3rd and long. You win on first, an incomplete pass on second down. It's been the same song.
Allen chased, hit, incomplete. Sky Moore putting the pressure on Austin Allen, who was slow to get up.
How about the closing speed of Sky Moore? You know, Austin Allen spinning out of pressure again. And Sky Moore, I mean, he covers a lot of ground in a hurry. So once again, Dante Sawyer able to beat the block of Paul Ramirez. And Sky Moore showing some speed, getting a shot on the quarterback of Arkansas yet again.
6'2", 218, and I know his size is probably an issue for some NFL guys, but there's got to be a spot he can play. I mean, the guy can flat out play some defense. Fair catch called for at the 40-yard line. 35-yard punt. Sky Moore did not play last year after neck surgery. Returns for his 5th year, and he is putting on a show.
I am full-blooded Samoan. Our culture is based on family, loyalty, and respect. Being the first and only Polynesian student athlete on campus until about a year ago, I take so much pride in the creation of the Poly Pipeline because my people have a lot to offer. With the number of Polynesian students increasing every year, we've definitely changed the perception of Polynesians on this campus and this community. I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing this for my people and my culture. It's going to be something that's going to last forever.
Bass Pro Shops. It's more than a store.
It's a place with a great selection of brands you love.
It's great customer service from folks who know what they're talking about.
Bass Pro Shops is the place for huge savings, like Bass Pro Shops logo hoodies for the whole family for under $20 each. Plus, savings of up to 50% on sturdy, stackable Plano Sportsman storage totes, starting at just $10.
There's never been a better time to come to Bass Pro Shops than right now.
Well, third quarter action, and it has been some South Carolina defense that has turned this game in a hurry. Sky Moore, 13th career interception, and they just keep getting after Austin Allen.
It's been all the game. And, you know, I don't know what else you can do if you're Arkansas, because they'll leave a protecting back end, they'll move the pocket, and it hasn't been enough. Meanwhile, you know, the South Carolina offense, they've had to get stretched out on the sideline. They're probably all tightened up.
It's been 30 minutes in real time that they've been on the field. A little over 6 minutes off the game clock. 4-yard pickup for Rico Dowdle. And Rico has been a difference for South Carolina offensively, but looks like he's a little gimpy heading to the sidelines.
Took a shot to his ribs, it looked like. But yeah, no question. I mean, it's not like they've set the tone with the ground game, but yet it has been more of a presence than what we've seen in previous weeks from South Carolina. Certainly more of what they've looked for out of their rushing attack.
You know, they've been good in terms of points allowed. They've just been on the field for a bunch and given up quite a few yards defensively. There goes Tyson Williams. He's down to the 38. Let's go down to Dawn.
Hey guys, in that 30 minutes of the South Carolina offense down here, Jake Bentley was running up and down the sideline, hitting the helmets of all of his guys, making sure they were ready to go when it was their turn.
I know, we've seen Bentley just keep getting up, throwing around. It's like the pitcher that his team's scoring 9-10 runs in an inning. He's got to go throw it a few times, keep the arm loose. Although I think we will see a heavy run game here. A pass every now and again. There goes A.J. Turner. He'll take it to the 30 and pick up 8. Chevin Callaway, a true freshman out of Dallas, Texas, in on the tackle for Arkansas.
Back-to-back runs, similar idea. It's just zone blocking to the left, and you're bringing Hayden Hurst across. You're able to kind of start play side and bend it back. It wasn't A.J. Turner, it's Tyson Williams, who lost his shoe on the previous run, and they're just getting downhill on Arkansas.
Cut back by Turner. He'll pick up 3, hit by Grant Morgan. You know, I need to revisit the O-line situation here for South Carolina. Missing 3 starters, Malik Young, Zach Bailey, and Corey Helms. Not a lot of depth. A couple of guys that they didn't expect to get a lot of snaps are in the game and playing most of the afternoon. And they're creating some space.
All game long, it seems like they've been intent. Can we get some movement? Can we run between the tackles? They've been able to do that. That was a concern coming into this game. So far, it's been mission accomplished.
No gain on that play to A.J. Turner. Dijon Harris now in double figures. He's got 11 tackles today. Let's go back to Dawn.
Hey guys, you talk about the 3 starters injured on that offensive line. Every single one of them down here, some of them in boots, some of them on a scooter, but they are helping these younger guys. They're teaching them in between every possession. They're busy down here even though they're injured.
You know, we thought, Dawn, that maybe Zach Bailey might be able to get in. They were waiting till the last moment before they determined that he was just a no-go. They hope to have all 3 back for game against Tennessee next weekend. Pickup of 5. A.J. Turner brought down by Santos Ramirez. And by the way, Bailey, the only one of those 3 guys that wasn't in a boot. That is the end of the third quarter. Boy, what a quarter it was. South Carolina leads it by 24. 15 more minutes to go here in Columbia.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire. But my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. We've got 25 employees who depended on it. And that's all that mattered to me. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. Incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
The 100% beef original Crystal, made just for you. What could be better? Getting it for just 79 cents. That's what. The original Crystal. Just 79 cents. All day, every day. Only at Crystal.
So you love your game? So does he. You say ain't nobody gonna work harder? He said the same thing. You get an hour of training in before the sun even comes up, plenty of early risers out there. You got the gear, they got the gear. You got a secret weapon, this dude doesn't need one. See, this isn't just a game of inches, this is a game of ounces. And the next ounce you give might just be the one the other guy doesn't. Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
Getting heartburn doesn't mean I take a break. It means I take Rolaids.
Rolaids goes to work instantly for fast, powerful relief of your worst heartburn. ROLAIDS spells relief. And for fast relief of heartburn and gas, get the multi-symptom relief of Rolaids Advanced.
At Holiday Inn Express, we can't guarantee that you'll be able to contain yourself at our breakfast bar.
Morning, egg white omelet. Sup, Lady Bacon?
Fruit. But we can guarantee that you'll get the best price when you book with us.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
There's nothing like game day. Franklin American Mortgage. It all begins with home.
It's been all of 1 hour, and already morale is low. There's separation anxiety, a flood warning, even a hunger strike. Lucky for you, there's Pilot and Flying J. With Wi-Fi, clean, modern bathrooms, and with an amazing variety of food and drink choices, you'll have the troops ready to rally in no time.
The 100% beef original Crystal, made just for you. What could be better? Getting it for just 79 cents. That's what. The original Crystal. Just 79 cents. All day, every day. Only at Crystal.
Dari Noka in studio. Let's update from the swamp. Florida 3rd and 8 rather. Down 1. Felipe Franks sacked by LSU. The Tigers have the ball and are on the move. Guys, it's a 1-point game. Remember Florida's missed extra point.
Yeah. Eddie Pinheiro, and he's one of the best kickers in the conference. And Dari was talking about these college kickers. He's talking about keeping it interesting. Nothing automatic this year.
3rd down coming up for South Carolina. Sling it near side. Rico Dowdle, or Casey Crosby, excuse me. And that'll be good enough for a 1st down after a pickup of 7. Well, we started with a couple of field goals here today, which was shocking. Arkansas hadn't hit a field goal all year. South Carolina had missed a bunch of them all season. And then defense took over the 3rd quarter for South Carolina. A couple of defensive scores to stretch this thing to 24 points. A.J. Turner picks up a couple. Santos Ramirez, another tackle for Arkansas.
Ramirez is a guy that Paul Rhodes mentioned in their secondary, a guy that they said really showed up to play. And of course, Tyson Williams has been ably filling the void when Rico Dowdle was all banged up. Transfer sat out last year, picking up some carries. And on this drive, they've been very authoritative with the ground game. The question is, can they capitalize in the red zone?
Edwards on a little speed sweep, has some room to the 5, down to the 3, and tossed to the turf there by Santos Ramirez, a gain of 11.
Well, they opened the game with a speed sweep to Hayden Hurst, and they're able to get it this time to Edwards. showing some of that speed. Obviously has been a really good football player for him, not only at receiver, but can impact in the ground game as well. Looks like K.C. Crosby down on the field still. Had that big 4th down catch in the opening possession. Was blocking on the perimeter on that speed sweep.
Boy, looking up at that high ankle area, and they've already talked about it earlier. 3 linemen out with ankle sprains.
Yeah, gets rolled up. Josh Liddell just rolls up on him trying to make the tackle. You see that a lot. You see the trainer, Clint Haggard, who's, you got to know that he's sick of dealing with ankles at this point.
You know, last year it was a soft tissue still. They had a lot of hamstring type things going on.
Yeah, they've been pushing hydration ever since.
The signs in their
they have some great signs in their facilities to make sure that
you stay
hydrated. This isn't soft tissue here. This looks like he's probably got an ankle issue. They've got 3 others. The guy's out, Zach Bailey most notably. Put a little bit of weight on that foot, but they're taking him to the locker room.
We'll try to get an update before we get out of here on K.C. Crosby's situation. Current drive, 9 plays. 1st and goal. Tyson Williams, the running back. He has the football, and he is stuffed right there at the line.
Great job holding the point that time by Arkansas. When we talk about Drake Greenlaw getting active, that time was able to get in, worked on around the end of the line of scrimmage, and another South Carolina player on the ground. That's a big body. That's an offensive lineman. And that is left tackle Dennis Daly.
We'll take a break, be back to Columbia after this.
They used to laugh at us because the places that we lived were different. How they were built, how they showed up, different. A lot has changed since then. Energy efficiency, open floor plans, cutting edge design. Suddenly, homes built indoors, they're all the rage. Yeah, they used to laugh at us, questioned everything about us. My question is, who's laughing now?
Hi, so I just got off the phone with our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness. So the incredibly minor accident that I had tonight.
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Hey, hon. We gotta go. Come on.
Thanks, Mom. Principal, we can help you plan for that.
Boy, I wish your mom was here. Instead of over there.
Reliving the glory days isn't always rewarding, but Hotels.com is. Instant savings now, free nights later. Hotels.com.
Allergies can get in the way of your day. Break through with Allegra 5-in-1 Relief. It starts working in 1 hour. Relief lasts 24 hours, and it's non-drowsy. Break through allergies with Allegra.
Doreen Oke in studio. It's getting interesting in Gainesville. We're showing you a punt. I'm going to tell you why. LSU is going to down it Florida will have to go 96 yards for a touchdown or set up Eddie Pinheiro for a game-winning field goal. They've scored on their last 3 final possessions in a game, guys.
All right, Dari, keep us posted. 34-10 here. Second down and goal. Bentley, touchdown. Tyson Williams. And South Carolina has put up 40 at this point on Arkansas.
Jake Bentley gets the touchdown throw. They're at the end of this drive, but it was a lot of big runs, power runs, the type that send a statement to your opponent here in the fourth quarter that got South Carolina down the field.
Going after is up and good. So 41 points. It's the most South Carolina has scored in an SEC game since 2014 when they put up 42 in a loss to Tennessee. It is all Gamecocks here at Williams-Brice Stadium.
If a star wants to fall from the sky, baby, let it. And if our song wants to play, not just play.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. I don't. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate.
Sometimes I leave the seat up on purpose.
Switching to Allstate is worth it.
At Cici's, get the sauced and tossed flavors of your favorite wings now on your pizza. Buffalo chicken, new garlic parmesan, and new honey barbecue. Wings by the slice, now on the buffet, just $5 and change. Cici's.
How you feeling?
I have chronic low back pain. I've tried ice, I've tried heat.
Are you ready for a game changer?
I am ready.
Smart Relief from Icy Hot.
It tingles.
You feel it?
Yes. I can't feel the pain right now.
Icy Hot Smart Relief. Oh.
This season marks nearly 85 years of SEC tradition. At Johnsonville, we respect heritage. We've been making premium sausage since 1945. We're heading back to SEC country to earn our fans. On every campus, at every tailgate, every big game, all the way to the championship. Get fired up for game day, made the Johnsonville way.
Well, they haven't asked Jake Bentley to do a lot. He does have a couple of touchdown passes, but the run game has kind of come back into play for South Carolina here this afternoon at Williams-Brice Stadium. Gamecocks came in averaging just a little bit over 80 yards a game. They have rushed it 28 times for 134 yards. Bentley sitting at 199 yards passing. 69 yards on the ground for Arkansas, 84 through the air. Let's get another update. Send it back to Dari. What's going on with the Gators and the Tigers?
Yeah, Dave, Stinch, looks like it's going to go LSU's way after losing their own homecoming to Troy. They get a fourth down stop, incomplete pass from Felipe Franks, trying to just run out the clock. Florida may have a few seconds left, but that missed extra point going to cost the Gators.
Unreal. From the least likely of kickers, too, it seems like.
So we get a look at Cole Kelly. 6'7", 268. The freshman getting a little bit of work. And those numbers are no joke. They use him usually in a package they call Steamboat, where he lines up, gets the ball, and just starts moving people out of the way.
Nickname that he wasn't a real big fan of. Dan Enos said as soon as he found out, oh, you don't like Steamboat? I'm going to name a package Steamboat, just to mess with him. They're really high on this kid, though. He's more than just a big runner on third downs. They like his arm. You certainly like his size. You almost don't have to pass protect for him. He's so big.
He'll tuck it and run. How about that little move? A little hurdle at the 33. Gets over the 35 for the first down. Give him 11 yards.
He's a good runner. You know, and in his previous touches, he's done nothing but convert on the third down runs that he's had. Says, I don't like it. Tucks and runs it. This is not a QB draw. He was definitely looking to throw the football and said, forget it. Let me do what I've been doing most of this season. Had a fumble on a short yardage last week, and Coach Bielema said, look, the kid's got a ton of confidence. That might have been needed just to take him down a notch or two.
So a timeout taken. Well, actually a flag down, excuse me.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
I mean, his size is no joke.
I was down on the field. I just wanted to see. I've been hearing about the big Steamboat. I thought, you know, is he really 6'7", or is that like his wrestling number? You know, from parts unknown, 6'7", 270. That dude's 6'7" if he's an edge.
Red-shirted last year. ESPN had him ranked as the number 16 quarterback coming out of high school. Stand in there and whip it to his fullback, or excuse me, tight end Austin Cantrell, and that'll be a pickup of 7.
If you're Arkansas, obviously you want to get some reps for your backup, but what are you signaling at this point? You know, you put it to bed, and you got to take a look at the next couple of games, and it's getting a lot tougher after this.
That pass is complete at the 47. That goes to Jonathan Nance. He'll pick up 11. But for Arkansas, I mean, folks, I mean, it just, the next 2 games are just as hard as you can imagine. You get at Alabama, and then you come back with Auburn that each week seems to be, I mean, let's face it, their only loss is to Clemson, and it wasn't even that bad of a loss.
No one. And Auburn's got one of the best defenses in the country. They've got one of the better defensive fronts. You know, given what we've seen so far from Arkansas, I mean, it's hard to conceive how they're going to generate yardage offensively versus the 2 defenses they're about to face.
Kelly on the run. Nice strong arm, but that one's incomplete. Deion Stewart couldn't hang on.
You're right, though, demonstrating some of that arm strength that the coaches have talked about in Cole Kelly. And, you know, you're also kind of taking some shots off Austin Allen. This game's away from him. You got to make sure that if you want to have any level of success on that side of the ball, you got to make sure that this guy doesn't look like this at the end of the game. Even the front of his jersey is covered in grass. That's a talented player that hasn't been afforded a ton of opportunity to demonstrate it a lot this year.
A 3-man rush. Wide open at the 26-yard line. Pass is caught. That one goes to Jonathan Nance. That's a pickup of 26 yards. That's his 5th catch today for Nance. Well, that's a long throw right there.
It's a long throw. There's something he can work on. We talk about Austin Allen's ball handling. Cole Kelly needs to work on it. And that ball fake wasn't the best in the world. You just show him that football and put it back in your belly. If you want that play action to mean something, still able to hit the big completion.
A little underthrown that time, looking for Nance, who's getting a nice workout on this drive. You know, Nance is a receiver that came in from Mississippi Gulf Coast and really didn't come in with many of the accolades that Brandon Martin did, who was considered the #1 ranked junior college receiver coming out. Martin's been hurt, has a catch here today, but Nance is a guy that's kind of flown under the radar, but he's the one that's elevated here and perhaps the #1 option now in the pass game.
You know, the other guy maybe a Jordan Jones at the receiver spot, but you're right. You know, Nance coming into this game, the most targeted, best receiver that they've seen downfield, and it's been the case again in this contest.
Looks like Johnny Gibson slow to get up.
Man, you know, both these teams, neither one of them could afford much injury. We've already seen South Carolina lose an offensive lineman. We talk about them reshuffling. They're going to have to get some new cards maybe again.
We'll step aside. Back to Columbia right after this.
Real people, steel people. Professionals demand dependability on the job. Homeowners expect long-lasting value. And servicing steel dealers provide friendly, knowledgeable support. Right now, steel blowers start at just $139.95 and get the powerful MS-250 chainsaw for just $299.95. Get yours now, only at your local steel dealer. Visit steeldealers.com or search STIHL.
When you drop a 603 horsepower V8 bi-turbo engine into one of Mercedes-Benz finest luxury sedans, what do you get? You get out of the way. 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. The Mercedes-AMG E63S sedan. Mercedes-AMG, driving performance.
This is Kroger Field in Lexington, Kentucky, and this is SEC Saturday night.
It ought to be a dogfight every time that we step on the field.
SEC Saturday Night, presented by Holiday Inn Express, Missouri, Kentucky. Tonight at 7:30 on the SEC Network.
Life is never neat and tidy. 1 minute your home's clean, the next, it's not. So whatever messes mess up your week, reach for the Bissell Multi-Reach Cordless Vacuum and make light work of cleaning up. For the places where your upright can't go, to the pet hair that gets everywhere. For the home or the car. From hardwood floors to carpets and rugs. And everything in between. Easy to empty. With a fast charging battery, the Bissell Multi-Reach reaches more places, more spaces, and more mess. To give you the power to clean whatever the day brings. Get yours at BissellMultiReach.com or text REACH to 246-810. Order today and receive a $50 bonus attachment kit.
Well, don't forget, coming up tonight, well, about 15-20 minutes or so, from Lexington, Missouri, visits the Cats. It's right here on the SEC Network, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Missouri Tigers coming off an off week. And if a team ever needed a week to kind of get it back together, it was the Tigers. Kentucky coming off that close win over Eastern Michigan. So third down. Kelly's throw to the 5, caught. That'll be good enough for the first down as Jeremy Patton hauls it in for 21 more yards.
Kelly's a big body, stands in there, takes a shot as he delivers this ball. Jeremy Patton does a good job in making the reception in traffic.
Handoff left side, touchdown, David Williams. And some boo birds come out for the former Gamecock, who gets it in the end zone.
Running behind the left-hand side. Big yell to Froholt, a converted defensive lineman. You got a true freshman up there and a former walk-on. 3 of the 5 offensive front players for Arkansas.
And the Hogs will keep the offense on the field with 8:36 to play. 10-play, 75-yard drive. Kelly 4 out of 7 through the air for 64 yards. Boy, he is just a big man. That shotgun. He looks more like a tight end. A little shovel pass inside as they get it to Jonathan Nance. And he'll be just shy of the goal line. So David Williams coming back home. Able to stick it into the end zone for 6. They can't convert the 2-point conversion. It is now a 41-16 ball game. Gamecocks out in front.
You, me, a little time is all it takes to make us smile. It's better when we get together. Me, myself, and I, we can get along just fine. It's better when we get together.
What is this?
It's the new iPhone. It's for our anniversary.
Our anniversary?
It's 34 days since we first met.
I didn't get you anything.
Oh, it's fine, because I got myself one, too.
Oh.
From you, for me, happy anniversary. I love it. That is very thoughtful of you. Thank you.
Get the amazing new iPhone 8. And with all AT&T Unlimited plans, get HBO for life. Less than $40 per line for 4 lines. Only from AT&T.
At Regions Bank, we're here to help you move your life forward. But managing money correctly can be tough, especially for college students. That's why we sometimes bring in some extra help.
Young lady, you are way too smart to hit that order button. $750 on a dress that'll be out of style by next week? And what? You might wear it 2-3 times tops?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I probably am right.
Regions, official bank of the SEC.
You don't think it'll happen to you, and you surely don't think it'll happen twice. I've lost 2 homes in my lifetime. First, it was a fire. My agent was right there and helped me rebuild. Then the tornado hit and destroyed everything again. Both times, my independent agent and auto owners took care of me like someone takes care of family.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
Well, Gamecock fans having a good time at Williams-Brice Stadium this afternoon. Their club has put up 41 points, and they lead Arkansas 41-16. And we said at the top of the show, it's kind of a crossroads game for these two teams. And especially for Arkansas, this is one that I think they dearly wanted to get with what's in store the next couple of weeks.
They had to get this one. I mean, knowing what's down the line, you got to go on the road, Alabama. Then you get Auburn at home. That's no gift. This is the first true road game for Arkansas. They did not respond very well. This is a live football until it trickled into the end zone.
Whew. Boy, that was close to being a problem. But time for us to take a look at today's Performance Spotlight, brought to you by Dickies. And for that, let's take a look at the South Carolina defense.
Yeah, they've harassed Austin Allen all game long. Got a turnover early, set the offense up with a short field. But I think that harassment of the quarterback for Arkansas ultimately took its toll. A pick 6, a scoop and score. The defense ignited the Gamecocks in the second half. Came out, forced a 3 and out. They've gotten 7 pressures. They've been all over the offensive backfield of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Excellent job by that defensive front.
.59 plays for each team. South Carolina has outgained Arkansas by 100 yards. Denson with the carry, gain of 7.
You know, the stats are a little bit misleading coming into this thing, because if you just looked at, even their per game averages, the competition has to be kind of taken into account. You got South Carolina that's played nothing but FBS opponents. And, you know, Arkansas, they had a bye early, and they played a couple of teams that you could put together some pretty decent stats for. You look at just TCU and Texas A&M, the numbers were a little bit different, especially when you look at like third down efficiency on offense.
Here goes Mon Denson again, first down. Hey, Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern, a chance to listen to Greg McElroy and Marcus Spears break it down. I mean, who wouldn't want that in thinking out loud?
I can't think of anybody offhand.
I mean, you get these guys 7 o'clock Eastern. Seriously, they will talk
and can
SEC
you imagine,
football.
like Big Spears now, after LSU winning a homecoming game, Florida schedules his alma mater.
He might have a comment or two.
He might. You know, he's had a couple of comments before about the way LSU has performed. They played some hard-nosed football apparently today to get the victory on the road.
Denson again with that carry, only 1 yard as the clock's closing in on 7 minutes to play in this one. And not a lot of juice left really on either side right now, as South Carolina's third quarter was just the difference in this one. A couple of defensive scores and just no answer for Arkansas.
Well, you know, and you look at it, how are they going to get that accomplished? You know, we're going to get an obvious passing down. We're going to blow out the formation and hope we can hold up in protection. It's not going to happen. It isn't going to happen. They have to find a way to stay in it. It's not just about staying ahead in the sticks. It's the scoreboard as well.
South Carolina will just try to chew up as much of this clock as they possibly can. Get out of here, start thinking about Tennessee, try to get some guys healthy. And, you know, Arkansas has really got to regroup. One thing Will Muschamp has done, and we talked to Hayden Hurst about it, and Hayden said that there's nobody better he's been around in terms of getting a team refocused after a disappointing moment.
Yeah, last week versus A&M, a game that you could have won, maybe even should have won. You got a lead late in the second half. To be able to bounce back the way South Carolina has, and not just bounce back. It's not like they came back to compete, especially in the second half. They did a great job. They started relatively fast, certainly on defense, generating a turnover. Really, it's been that defensive side of the ball that has answered the bell big time in this game after they gave up not that many points, but a ton of yards last week versus A&M.
The group of Wanham, Ulrich Jones, Taylor Stallworth, Dante Sawyer, Kier Thomas, those guys all brought it defensively today. I think the front line really was the difference.
Well, the front, you're right. The front seven, really.
Yeah,
you know, the linebackers, you can't overlook what they were able to do. Brunson and also Moore, both with scores. But the secondary, there were moments where the protection held up. They only brought 4, and there was nowhere to go with the football downfield.
You look at Sky Moore and T.J. Brunson. If you said they had 5 tackles between them, you'd think, boy, that was a long day for South Carolina. So that's what those two have. Now, they have the defensive touchdowns, as you mentioned, but the guys up front just kind of clogged it up.
Ball never got to the line of scrimmage a lot of times. You had the Razorback ball carriers. They're throwing moves in their offensive backfield just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Boy, that's a booming kick. Charlton. What a kick.
Wow.
What a kick. How about 56 yards, and then you get it pinned at the 1. I don't know that you can do it. You can't. There's no way to do it any better.
You get it to check up like that? He turned it over, too. It wasn't like it was one of those knucklers that had some backspin on it.
That's just a thing of beauty right there.
That was just about a perfect punt. Directional kick.
It landed right there at the 1-yard line.
And even if it was in bounds, it was checking backwards. Man, what a kick.
It cost him a half yard.
Yeah, Dave, you're not just a soccer player, but a pretty good golfer, too. That's like one of your wet shots.
Golf's more me now at my age.
I think you're selling yourself short.
For athletes like myself. Cole Kelly will stay in at quarterback and work from the 1-yard line. Handoff left side. That'll pick up 5, give him a little bit of room. Chase Hayden on that carry. You know, Hayden's a young man that is out of Memphis but grew up an Arkansas fan. We mentioned Darren McFadden. Hayden grew up just idolizing McFadden as a football player, had a poster of McFadden on his wall. And he's a guy they think that can produce. I mean, if you produce half of what McFadden was able to do. Matter of fact, McFadden in 2007 against his South Carolina team ran for a school and SEC record 321 yards.
That's hard to imagine. He hasn't been exhausted after that one.
But what's even more impressive is that same game, Felix Jones added 166 yards on 13 carries.
Yeah, that was only half of what Darren did, though. So, you know, that's a lot of activity for those guys. We've already seen, you know, it's hot here, late, obviously October game. You know, hydration's important, to say the least. And of course, South Carolina, they go to great lengths to make sure that their players are hydrated.
First down and 10 for the Hogs. Over the middle, pass caught. Deion Stewart, that's out to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 16. Hey, the ESPN app, fans' best friend. Boy, you needed it today with all the games going down to the wire. You can stream every ESPN and ABC college football game live or at home on the ESPN app. Download the app to start streaming immediately, right now, if you haven't already done so. Boy, another good throw, but popped out of the hands of Jordan Jones. Javon Charleston getting some work with the hit.
That's twice where we've seen a South Carolina defender. Earlier with Stephen Montauk. This time, Javon Charleston getting over there right as the ball arrives and separating the receiver from the football. Clean hits, big collisions, and the resultant incompletions.
I know this is kind of a loaded question, but if you're Arkansas, where do you start? When you begin thinking about next week, where do you start to try to rebuild this?
Versus Alabama?
Yeah.
You picked the wrong week for rebuilding.
Okay.
I mean, that's just...
That one's picked. Another defensive score, perhaps. Nixon to the end zone. Touchdown, 46 yards out. The third defensive score of the afternoon. Keyshawn Nixon, the junior from Compton, California.
Well, this South Carolina defense came to play, didn't it? In this game, knew they were going to be challenged physically. They did a great job tackle to tackle, stuffing the Arkansas offense. And boy, they turned it around. Ended up in the end zone 3 times now. Defense getting up on the board.
24 points off turnovers, 21 points from the defense.
He did a great job. He's right underneath that route. He takes it to the house. When we talk about Kelly, he likes that arm strength. He can like it a little bit too much. And Nixon was sitting on that route and was able to jump right in front of this football. The only thing stopping him is leg cramps, and we know that's not going to happen.
Not here. Not here. Not at South Carolina. They stay hydrated. Couple of pick sixes, 1 scoop and score. Nixon had his only tackle of the year last week against Texas A&M. Last time that South Carolina put up 48 points in a conference game was back in 2014. They did that against Vanderbilt. Wozniak with the kick this time for South Carolina. And this will be brought out. Warren. He's got room down the sideline. He's finally pushed out of bounds. They will spot him at the 42-yard line, so a nice return. Well, how about the Georgia Bulldogs? Seems like this was almost yesterday. They played this morning. So did Auburn, and those two clubs did what I think people expected them to do. Auburn got out to an early lead, a big lead, and never looked back.
You know, Vanderbilt, after they beat Kansas State, folks thought that perhaps they were about to turn the corner. You know, Georgia put it on them. Auburn able to put it on Ole Miss, and right now, if these games continue, both those teams playing as well as they are, we're talking about a pretty fun end of the season. Auburn faces Georgia, and obviously the winner of that game will take on Alabama. If all three of those teams continue to handle business, you've got basically the top 2 or 3 teams in the SEC playing one another 3 straight weeks.
A little round robin.
That's crazy when you think about it, right? Because by then, you're talking about, who knows, there might be 2 SEC teams at that point in time within the top 4 once the CFP rankings come out.
There's Kelly. Will come near side. Pass is caught by Nance. And I say round robin, if Georgia continues to hold, you'll have, of course, Georgia-Auburn. Then a couple weeks later, you have that Iron Bowl. And then perhaps Georgia gets to meet Alabama in the SEC championships over a 3-week period.
That's the best you could ask for, right? And you don't even leave the conference for that matter. That's some great football. 3 championship caliber games in a row, just about.
Jace Hayden. Well, Georgia's sitting there at number 5, and they'll get bumped up. By the way, Oklahoma loses at home to Iowa State today. That's a shocking result.
And Iowa State with their backup QB in the game. That's hard to wrap your head around.
Gain of 2.
I'm told that the quarterback also played safety for Iowa State in that game.
Yeah, Joel Lanning.
Unreal. I don't know that that's happened, what, in the past 20, 30 years? A 2-way player, effectively.
Well, Jacob Park, who was at Georgia, I'm mistaken, the same Jacob, was supposed to start at Iowa State, and he left the team for personal reasons to the end zone touchdown. Nice throw. How about Nance coming up with a big reception?
Nance for the Arkansas touchdown.
Cole Kelly with a nice throw to the corner of the end zone. 34 yards.
That's a nice answer on the heels of a pick 6.
You know what it kind of reminds me of a little bit, that throw? A little Ryan Mallett.
That's a good point. And from a stature standpoint, although this guy can actually move. Mallett was a tree. That guy would just stand in the pocket and wait to get chopped down. Cole Kelly can actually move a little bit.
So they'll go for 2 again. If there is a bright side here, if you're Arkansas, if there is one, it's the fact that you're getting Kelly a lot of work in the pass game. We know he can run the football with that package that he has, the steamboat package they call it. But now he's getting a chance to stand in the pocket, sling it around a little bit. And he's made some doggone good throws today.
Yeah, I mean, other than the pick 6, you know, he's one of those guys, obviously he's got to grow up. They didn't put him in the game not to throw it.
He's just a big old boy.
Oh, he doesn't have a hard time seeing over protection.
Look at him next to Ragnow.
Ragnow's 6'5".
Good gracious.
That dude's a couple of biscuits away from playing offensive tackle. You talk about bring your own block at running back? Right. He can do it at quarterback. Just don't block the defensive end right here. I got that. I'll throw hot off the defensive end.
His dad played a little college ball. His brother plays college ball. Football family, and old 15 let him do a drive. 48-22 our score. $1:40 left to go. Alabama and Texas A&M going at it. Texas A&M with a couple of nice wins in league play after a point. We were there a few weeks ago, and it just didn't look pretty.
No, that you could tell. And again, it seems like a theme. We talked it today. They got a bunch of changes on their offensive front. And, you know, Austin Allen, 84 yards, only 50% completions. And over there visiting with one of his offensive linemen, Yelda Froholt, the guy they converted from defensive line to play guard. And Austin Allen, he looks like he just went 13 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, that is a guy that is certainly depressed, upset. I mean, all those words. He's going to be sore. You know that. He's sore every single Sunday. But he is a ultimate competitor. Hurst calls the fake fair catch. And with that, let's go to the studio and get an update.
All right, Dave, Alabama, Texas A&M underway. A&M got an Alabama stop on the Tide's first possession, then hits this 31-yard strike from Kellen Mond to Travion Williams, led to a 52-yard field goal, 3-0 Aggies. Thanks for killing our Phil, by the way.
Don't we always?
Yeah.
When's the last time there was any Phil? This was short by our standards.
Well, to close out the game, first time this year that somebody besides Jake Bentley gets to play quarterback, with the exception of the Wildcat formation. And Michael Scarnecchia, the redshirt junior out of Fleming Island, Florida, getting some work.
Guy that missed some time there last year. You know, good to get him some reps, of course. You know, Jake Bentley, as we mentioned, you know, he took some shots last week versus Texas A&M. And pretty slippery guy, but you always got to have a backup ready, that's for sure.
If there was ever a time for Brett Bielema to rally the troops, I mean, there have been some disappointing losses, obviously, at Arkansas under his regime, but this loss, and now you got this 2-game road swing that'll get you to Tuscaloosa. If there was ever a time he needed to get these guys, perhaps his hardest job that he's had since he's been in Arkansas will be this week.
No question. You know, you got to figure out a way to where is the silver lining? You know, what's your building block? After this game, what do you point to say this is our way forward? We're going to build off of this. And right now, you're left with very little to point to after this performance, especially here in the second half where the game just sprinted away from the Razorbacks.
Well, this will be the last snap of the game. And a good one for South Carolina. They get 3 defensive scores. The third quarter was the difference. A pick 6, a scoop, and a score. Hugs all around. Will Muschamp wins it over Arkansas, 48-22. That is our final score for Matt Stinchcomb. Dawn Davenport, I'm Dave Neal. So long from Columbia.